Apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Time now for your Sactown 49ers report, brought to you by Kia of Vacaville, located beside the Vacaville outlets. San Francisco loses in Houston on Sunday, 26-15, to fall to 5-3 on the year. The Niners played again without Brock Purdy, and they struggled offensively to score early, going down 13-0. The Niners are back in action on Sunday morning in New York. You can catch all the action beginning at 9 a.m. right here on Sactown Sports 1140.
Football season is here at Kia of Vacaville. You can score big in a new 2025 Kia Niro LX with up to 53 MPG combined at Kia of Vacaville. Perfect for road trips, tailgates, and cruising to Levi Stadium in style and comfort. But don't wait. Inventory is limited at Kia of Vacaville, and these deals won't last long. Visit KiaVacaville.com or stop by right next to the Vacaville outlets for friendly service, easy shopping, and unbeatable value. All in one stop. Kia of Vacaville, where the adventure begins.
The greatest show on dirt returns to Stockton Dirt Track. October 31st and November 1st. It's the 42nd annual tribute to Gary Patterson. 2 nights of all-out racing to the finish, crowning the 2025 champions on dirt. Tickets now at StocktonDirtTrack.com.
This Saturday at 11 a.m. on the next edition of the Travel Guys, brought to you by Sports Leisure Vacations.
We'll dig into the Travel Guys mailbag and answer your questions. You can send us a question at TravelGuysRadio.com.
Join us Saturday at 11 a.m. right here on Sactown Sports 1140.
As the temperatures drop, keep your home cozy and your family safe with Maverick Electric Heating and Air, your local family-owned team you can trust. They care about the families they serve because they're part of this community too. This fall, schedule your seasonal tune-up to make sure your system is ready before the cold sets in. Visit MaverickElectricalServices.com or call Maverick Electric and let their family take care of yours this season.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140. Feeding your passion for local sports in the afternoon. It's the Drive Guys on your radio at 1140 a.m.
Streaming audio at SactownSports.com and the Sactown Sports app.
You can also watch the show on YouTube at Sactown Sports 1140. Here are the Drive Guys.
Happy Halloween, Jay. I have hopefully everything's going well. We start the show, I have a little bit of an issue here, a little bit of a problem maybe you can help me with. You know, every day we start the show and we have a rundown, and the rundown goes to Brendan and Chris Watkins and Frankie, and then so that they can coordinate some of the things that are up on the YouTube page with what's going on in the show. And they do a really great job of that. So I'm just looking here on the YouTube for the Drive Guys, and it says, are there reasons for optimism regarding the Kings? I didn't really have that. I didn't really have that in the rundown. I'm not. That's a fine topic, but I don't really have anything on that. Jay, do you have anything on that? Are there reasons for optimism regarding the Kings?
Well, I don't. I always have reasons.
Sure.
But no, as far as the topic wise, this is what you do. See, the difference is Mr. Gleason, you're one of the nicest people I know when you want to be.
Yeah.
Me, on the other hand, I'd say bad job by Frankie, Brendan, and Anthony.
Well, they probably something happened where either they didn't get a chance to look at it, or they're just, I got to put something up there, and it's fine.
Yeah, yes,
but I just
more
that's
than fine.
It's like, wow, it's kind of like you get a school assignment or something, like homework students, like I didn't get the assignment.
And you know how it goes because you've had to go through school. I just had this conversation with my daughter yesterday about some of her assignments because, of course, she's got a power-packed weekend at school. She's got the last game for football cheerleading today and Halloween parties and cheer parties and all these other things going on. She's got a busier schedule than me. And I tell her, I check the grades, and I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. That B's creeping down a little bit. What's going on? So I tap it in, and I'm like, oh, yeah, you got to get a few things in. Oh, I tried to turn them in last week. Oh, you tried, huh? So what I'm saying is this. When you lose focus of certain things, obviously today is Halloween and the weekend is approaching. I'm pretty sure, Frankie and Brendan and Anthony, they have some things to do today and probably this weekend. And so they probably like, you know what, let me go ahead and get that up at 8 o'clock and just go ahead and preface it something and put it out there. And when you lose focus, sometimes, certain things just hit the airways that don't need to be done.
Yeah. That's a fine thing to talk about. I'll
here
see
you
what
go.
I can do here.
Mr. Gleason being nice, man.
By the way, Banta the Young says, here to play nice or here to crack wise. All I know is it's Halloween and it's the Drive Guys.
Ooh, that boy dropped a bar.
Yeah, that's what he does now. We'll see how many days in a row he can keep that going.
I didn't know he was dropping bars in there.
He had one yesterday, I think, and he might have had one the day before, but I only remember yesterday. So
he's a rhyme sayer.
Appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. TR says, why'd get Hassan Whiteside on as a guest? All right, well, okay.
Is there a reason?
He's coming back, isn't he? I saw something about him.
I didn't see that.
Going to play in Europe or something.
What?
I saw something about him. And someone said, actually, it's TR. Saying that Whitey is dressed as Stretch Bergmeyer. Yeah, wearing the
Stretchy B.
Friday Night Theater shirt on Halloween. Wear it on Halloween, and that's about it. So thanks for noticing that.
Yes, sir. Making $5,000 an episode, you were.
When I started,
Yeah.
by the time we finished, it was astronomical. The fee was astronomical.
That was a discount for you.
Yeah. That's, pretty much why it ended. It's like, we just can't afford
Can't afford
You're
to
worth
do it anymore.
But we just can't.
We're paying you as much as the people in the film.
We can't afford your exorbitant, but you earned it, but we can't afford that
Absolutely.
fee. So,
by the
yes.
way, the fellas, the digital side, they've been knocking it out the park.
Oh, no question.
I was going to make sure I put that in there. And Anthony has been dedicated to our show. Sometimes I'm pretty sure you're Anthony filling in for certain shows, and of course you hear him on the weekend with you guys sometime. Anthony's doing a bang up job. Shouts out to Ant, man, holding this down.
The other thing is, as you know, Jay, we have the rundown, and quite often we don't necessarily follow it because something happens, or you get a different idea, or somebody calls, and so we go a different route. And I'm supposed to let the guys know, hey, coming up, we're not doing this, we're doing that. And sometimes I do, but I just kind of stop. So sometimes, they're putting stuff up there, and it's like, he's not even doing what you're supposed to do. But, that's all good. That's the way a radio show works.
Absolutely, baby.
Yeah.
We don't go by, this isn't a schedule. This isn't television.
Right.
This isn't, as Draper always said, where's my camera? Give me my one-on-one,
right.
My straight shot. This isn't that type of situation. If you call and there's something we want to talk about, or, if you're lacing somebody's tennis shoes, Whitey, and giving us some game and sprinkling a few omens out there, then, we're going to talk about that before we talk about, the lack of size for the Sacramento Kings every hour.
This is just kind of a safety net. I really relied on these when I was doing mornings because some mornings – it's like the brain just isn't fully functional, Jay. And sometimes, what are we doing now? What did I write down? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Are there reasons for optimism regarding the Kings? So it's nice to have. So,
are you a coffee guy?
I didn't used to be, but I am.
Oh, okay.
That's what I have right now, as a matter of fact.
Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not a coffee guy at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just interested to see if you were jumping up in the morning natural, organic.
Used to be a lot of soda, too much soda.
Oh, okay.
So I backed way off of that.
That boy.
Yeah.
Smart man.
Mm-hmm. So we're underway on Halloween. Kings may catch a break tomorrow night. Maybe that's a reason for optimism regarding the Kings. Kings may catch a break tomorrow night.
Giannis is playing.
Okay.
Giannis is playing. I'm not even going to let you deliver I see where you were going.
You do, but I was also going to say, then again, maybe not, because he didn't play last night.
Right.
And Ryan Rollins destroyed his old team, the Warriors. 32 points.
We were leaving the studio yesterday, and Ryan Rollins, I think he had 7 or 8 in the first quarter right off the bat. And I told Ramsey, I said, this is either going to be 1 or 2 games, because he averages 12 points. And I looked it up. I said, he's at 12.3, 12.8, something around there, but 12 points a game. I said, either one side of the fence, he's either going to go for a career high, something crazy like 30, 40, 50 today, or he's going to have nothing the next 3 quarters and he'll even out about 12. Averages are averages for a reason. And of course you have exceptions to the rule. Now, as you put, he had a career high yesterday with 32 points, but I figured it was going to go 1 or 2 ways.
Mm-hmm.
Already within 7, 8 points within the first 5, 6 minutes of the first quarter.
Yeah. He had, I think, 26 the game before that.
Yeah, he balled.
And then last night he had that edge like, this is a team that drafted me. And then they got rid of me. I was a throw-in in the Jordan Poole deal. We'll show them.
Right.
What a big mistake they made.
Very true.
Yeah. So you're probably right. You don't think Giannis is going to miss 2 games in a row?
No.
A sore knee?
No.
I'm not even sure you want it. Well, of course you want it to, right? If you had your druthers. You don't want him to be hurt, but yeah, Ryan Rollins playing well, but if the Kings had their druthers, they wouldn't play Giannis. But you just mentioned something about two paths. And if there's an upside to how poorly things have gone for the Kings, it's that one of those paths, I think, is fading away. Kings went into this season presumably with two ways they could go. Let's see how far we can get being competitive. And then at some point, if that stops or we can't continue down that path, maybe we go the other way and dedicate the rest of the year to getting younger and developing our youth and adding some youth and athleticism. Well, that competitive path it's almost gone, Jay. Let's be honest. You look at the schedule coming up.
Yeah.
And it's theoretical that you're 1-4 visiting Milwaukee, Denver, home to Golden State, OKC, Minnesota, Denver. You could end up 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You could be 1-10. Now, maybe not. You could win some of these games. But when you look at the upcoming games, that's on the board. Anything like that, and my point is not, the Kings, this is terrible, the sky's falling. My point is, of those two paths, if you continue to struggle with these quality opponents coming up, that one path, hey, we could stay competitive, that starts to shrivel up. And you may not really have a choice if you're the Kings other than to focus on getting younger and more athletic going forward.
Well, if you go that way, I think maybe I won't say majority. I'd say there'd be a decent sized portion of people who wouldn't mind it anyway. So I don't really see it as the only thing about that would be the team and the people who are, the TCs of the world or Drapers, like how they're going to win 48, 47, 52, I believe is what TC threw out there. Like those people, those fans, the kingdom, that part of the kingdom, they'd be a little disappointed. But, I just go back to the point that I talked about yesterday from Akis Yurikostas. I truly believe that even if this team goes, as you say, 1-10, if this team goes, 5-15, whatever, because they have a super tough schedule on paper coming up with Denver a few times, OKC a few more times, Minnesota mixed in, the Warriors who are playing well, some very difficult teams on paper. I don't want to say it's a win-win because it's not a win-win because you're losing, but I think it would move in the form of a lot of people getting their wish. And then we may see that timeline sped up a little bit. So either way, I say that to say I'm interested even if they go 1-10 because I would like to see what happens and what the move goes. And then at the same time, I think a lot of people or some people or a decent amount of people, because I want to make sure I cover it properly, they wouldn't mind seeing it anyway.
Yeah, I'm with you. That's why I said I'm not making this point to say the sky is falling.
Sure.
I'm just saying it's to get some clarity. Big picture, I think, would be a good thing. And, you got to follow the money when you're trying to figure out why anybody does anything now, but especially when you're talking about big business, which the NBA is, you got to follow the money. It would appear that one reason the Kings have been reluctant to tank is because, well, we want people to come out to the arena, right?
Right.
Deuce was on this morning, and he made
Who?
Dave Deuce Mace.
Oh, okay.
My guy. Former producer of one of our shows in San Francisco. Anyway, Dave pointed out that, look, if it becomes apparent that you're not going to be in the play-in, and we're a long ways from that, but if you get to that point, you don't want to pay a lot of heavy contracts, big contracts to veteran players if you're not going anywhere. So then it becomes financially prudent, perhaps, if you get to that point, to kind of get rid of some of those bigger contracts. You don't want to pay, a lot of money for a team that doesn't even get into the play-in. So while the Kings perhaps have been reluctant to go the development route because, it would cost us money, you may get to a point where, wait, it costs us more money to pay all these players that aren't good enough as a team to get us into the play-in. So all that's on the board here. I think you're right. I agree with you 100%. I think we know that based on what we've heard from fans on the text line, people that call. If the Kings do end up going that way, like, you know what? This year's about retooling and getting younger. I think a lot of fans would applaud that. Yeah, and I would too.
Yeah, well, it would lead to an exciting rest of the season in the form of not so much, and here we go. Here goes my television side of it. Not so much as what we see on set, but behind the curtains.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of things are going on behind the curtains, and we would find out sooner than later. And I think that's just one of the major questions. We talked about this, you know, coming into the season. What are some of the major questions for the Sacramento Kings? And I think to the point, as many people as I heard, and of course we talked about it on this show, is how long is this front office willing to stay with this group if this group is not succeeding, not putting wins in the win column? So I just thought it's going to be an entertainment season anywhere it goes, even if they push for a playing spot, playoff spot, and or if they choose a different path and, you know, they tank.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Interesting conversation in the YouTube chat about which monsters on Halloween would be the best additions to the Kings roster.
Oh,
you know,
like
Jason
that. I like
Voorhees, can they sign him to a 10-day? That's from Peg Junk. TR,
Okay.
Need Freddy Krueger and Texas Chainsaw Dude. Logical Raptors Fanatic says Freddy's a point guard.
Yeah, I was going to say, we need size.
Band says he got knives for fingers. He's not the best shooter. But this just really shows you how the game has changed, because there was a time when Frankenstein would have been a terrific center. And now I don't think he can get on the perimeter and guard the pick and roll.
Yeah, I'm with you. He's a little slow about the foot. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, he's plotting, right?
Yeah,
he's a plotting
was a time
type
you
center.
Just throw it into Big Frank.
Yeah, do his thing.
Yeah,
work
post
the hook.
him up. Yeah.
I'm kind of leaning more towards the Jason Michael Myers, because they look like they have some size, look like they may be able to be a stretch 3, stretch 4, maybe be able to wipe the glass. And the one thing about it is both of them, they're absolutely monsters.
Yeah.
They're monsters on, when it comes to, you come down the lane, you're probably going to get shoved, pushed, or some other things.
Mm-hmm. You can't overlook what Teen Wolf did, though. On the hardwood. On the actual hardwood.
Very true.
Playing actual basketball. Some of these guys,
Pistol
we have
Pete
to
style.
guess. What would this monster or creature do in a basketball game? Teen Wolf, we saw it.
Putting up numbers.
Yes.
Yeah. That's true.
Sensational.
But we don't need another guard. But I know, you've been in the camp of letting Malik Monk go to Houston, so
If I
maybe
can
you
get
bring in
something,
Teen Wolf too.
If I can get something good for him.
Very true.
I'm in no hurry to get rid of Malik.
I know. I'm just playing.
Yeah.
I don't want to put words in your mouth.
I almost feel like Malik, in my opinion, Malik was in some ways done wrong by the front office. He's been a good Kings player. He got caught up in the wash between the transition from one regime to the other.
Yes, sir.
New regime came in and they said, we didn't really have a point guard. All right, fair point, but Malik was the point guard last year. And then it looked like, wow, they're trying to get rid of Malik. Well, he says that no, they were honest with me. Here we are. The new season has begun. He's still here, and he's risen above all of that.
True.
And he's playing as well, if not better, than anybody else on the team. And I feel like if he can do that, and they can send him somewhere where he can get beyond all this, and the Kings can get something back in return, that would be a nice, fitting finale and ending to the whole Malik Monk pizza guy in Sacramento saga.
Yeah, it would be. I'd hate to see him go because he's my guy. He's a valuable asset, and I think that's what we're really touching on. He truly is a valuable asset. He's one of those guys that when you truly look around the league, you pay attention, his skill set, what he brings to the table, the heart, in a six-man role, you look around the league and you're like, yep, there's probably more than a handful of teams who need what he brings on a daily. And if you're really asking me, he probably is the biggest asset in the backcourt that you're probably willing to move. So I understand what you're saying. And, I kid around, but I wouldn't want to see Double M go. I think he's great for what he does here in Sacramento. No doubt about it.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people here are talking about Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees. To me, they're too similar on my roster. I mean, I might need one of them, but if I have two guys like that, I don't know. I only need one of those guys.
No, we don't. We need multiple big guys. What do you mean? One guy can't play.
Aren't they the same guy?
What's wrong with that?
Well, one of them's not going to get minutes.
Well, we better make some.
Teen Wolf. Going to take minutes from Teen Wolf.
Well,
or Predator.
We have a shortage at the moment. You don't think we could utilize two guys in the front court right now?
Did you see whoever it was? I honestly don't know who it was. They came to work yesterday dressed as Michael Myers.
I didn't.
I don't know who it was.
Oh,
and they were walking around.
Here?
Yes.
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
Because I saw them, I think they're trying to be menacing, and then I pulled in the parking lot and waved, and then, the guy's trying to be menacing, but it's like a coworker, so whoever it was, he had to go, hi. But he was walking around upstairs like Michael Myers says, with his with the overalls and the
Yeah.
mask and the knife, and he's very slow. That's my point. I don't know if I want to play up tempo. I don't know.
But let me ask
Very
you,
deliberate.
because
Have you ever seen him run?
I got you. This is the question that we all have to consider and keep asking ourselves as they drop, Halloween Part 49 probably next year or so.
Mm-hmm.
It's he and Jason, Mr. Voorhees, always find themselves in the right position. And they always find themselves right next to where they need to be.
They make good cuts. You're right. They do.
In multiple ways, right?
Yeah, just about any way you can slice it.
So my thing is, even if they're not speedy, they got great mind. They're always that their mindset is right on point where they need to be, and they're in the proper position at all points in times.
Yeah,
and they seem to catch up no matter what.
Yeah, it is true. I mean, like I say, he doesn't run, but 1 minute he's there and then he's gone.
Yeah,
where'd he go?
I mean, come on.
He went back door. Look out!
Absolutely.
What a cut!
Throw him up.
Meyer scores.
I'm with it.
Mm-hmm. Halloween edition of the Drive Guys. Today we have Rod Brooks to talk 49ers. He's going to join us at 3. Typically it's 2:30. He's going to join us at 3 today, which is terrific.
I'm glad you say that because Rod from here on out will be joining us at 3.
Like that.
We've confirmed that concrete-wise.
Yeah,
he's
that
got
works.
some things that he has to do for NBC around the 2 o'clock time. So he'll be joining us Fridays at 3 p.m.
Yeah, and that works for us, too. We can kick off that 3 o'clock hour with
Yes,
him. Looking forward to that. Also today, back with us, Jerry Reynolds.
The legend
himself. 4 o'clock, Jerry's going to join us. From what he's been saying on the Kings Herald podcast, I don't know that he's overly optimistic about the Kings right now, but we'll find out. And I'm hoping, Jay, well, I don't need to hope. I know you're going to come through with one of your throwback questions for Jerry today.
Of course. I got that.
I enjoy those. And I think he likes them, too.
Soon as you send me the legend is on point, then I immediately I conjure something up right there.
Mm-hmm. I figured you would. Did you watch any football last night?
I didn't, just a pinch of it. And I went back this morning to rewatch the game, but I just didn't have time today. I didn't see too much of it. I saw the end of the game, which pretty much was already out of hand.
Yeah.
Maybe about the last quarter. And then I probably saw like almost the first quarter. So I missed second and third.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does anyone else have this issue when it comes to streaming? And I could have turned on the other TV, but you watch some on Amazon or Peacock, and, especially now there's been so many things going on. There's another game on, or there's a World Series on, or whatever. Jay, if I'm on Amazon and I want to switch to another channel, it's a little bit of a chore, and I can't just, I can't just boop, boop. It's like, all right, I got to back out, got to get a guide, then getting back in is like,
got to go through the whole signing in process.
And that to me is the biggest issue with streaming stuff right now.
Yeah, I'm with
sports,
you.
That is.
I'll say this. I don't know if you had issues, but I had tremendous issues NBC a couple nights ago as far as basketball-wise. Man, it was skipping and jumping.
Really?
It was doing all kinds of stuff. And so,
I had that opening night. I didn't really notice it as much as
I go to Social Network, and I seen a lot of people having kind of, lags and skips, and you got to get that together.
Yes, you do.
You definitely need to get that together.
What's the problem? Oh, we didn't know so many people were going to watch?
You're right. Come on, man. So it's hopefully they can take care of that as we get closer. I think they only have one more game, then they bounce back around Christmas time, but it's they've got to do something a little bit better here.
Yeah. Yeah. You'd think they'd be prepared for that. Here's something that'll look different starting Saturday. So starting with the night the Kings are playing the Bucks. Starting Saturday, this just came out this afternoon. NBA referees will begin using headsets during games for the first time. I'm not entirely clear why the league made the announcement today. It's part of a 2-phase plan to implement the devices. The first phase, which will continue into January, will have the referees with earpieces clipped onto their uniforms, and then they use them during instant replay and other stoppages, not during live play. And then the second phase, which depends on how the first phase goes, would see the referees wearing their earpieces throughout the games. I guess this is so they don't have to stop the game for them to walk over and put the headset on. How long does that take, though?
Yeah.
4 seconds?
For me, it's not a good use of technology.
Mm-hmm.
Truly is not. I don't understand what they're trying to accomplish.
I'm not sure either.
Yeah, and this is kind of where we need a conversation, with Draper, or Katie or someone, one of the other play-by-play or color analysts who went to New York in September for preseason to kind of get some new rules and things that were happening. Or we need somebody from the league to explain it. I don't really get it, and everything that I've seen has been very vague and very short.
Yeah.
And I just made sure I went over. I looked at it on ESPN. I mean, it was literally 2 paragraphs, and it just pretty much said what you said, but it's not giving any reason to what this is really about.
I have a theory. First, I'll let you know, similar technology, according to the Associated Press, has been used in other leagues around the world for some time.
Yeah.
And the NBA has been testing the technology since 2022. Now, I could be wrong, but this would be my guess, and we'll find out soon enough. As I said earlier, as you don't need me to tell you, follow the money. Why would they do something like this? Follow the money. I wouldn't be surprised if this is part of some, and now we'll go to the so-and-so headsets
Microsoft.
brought to you by,
Yeah, Alsco.
Amazon Web Services brings you this headset update, and you can get these headsets of your, I don't know.
You're probably right. With the new iOS system, I truly, and as you said, they within that AP, and that's pretty much the report that I've seen going around. They tested them, but for what? I mean, as you said, to speed up the game. Is it so if there is a replay, someone's talking to you? I truly don't know what this is really about.
No one has ever said, wow, it would save time if the referees just had headsets with them. We've complained about the reviews take too long sometimes, but not because they have to walk over and put the headsets on.
True.
That's not the problem.
Yeah, you got a whole other team in New York.
That's my guess, is there's some sponsorship deal with whomever has the web services or the headsets or something.
You know what? The other thing that I thought about was with so much of gambling accusations going on and, conspiracy theories, like, is this a good look by the NBA?
I thought of the same thing.
Like,
I don't know how exactly it would contribute to games being rigged or anything like that.
Sure.
But I know how people are going to react when they see it. Oh, yeah. Who's telling the referees to make that call?
Right. Somebody in New York?
Yeah.
Is that Adam Silver? You already know how I was going to go. So I don't know how this helps. Hopefully somebody will come out and explain it to us, or maybe we'll have someone on it on the show next week or some who's got some information on this. But I don't really see what's the point of this besides, like you said, follow the money.
Yeah, that's what I'm going with. When we come back, I'd rather be the Kings than this NBA team. That's next with the Drive Guys on this very, very spooky Halloween on Sactown Sports. Boo!
The San Francisco 49ers play on Sactown Sports 1140.
Touchdown 49ers! Every game on your #1 sports station. Don't miss the action on your local sports leader. Sactown Sports 1140.
Hey everyone, it's Kyle Draper here. If you're in the market for a new car, let me tell you about my experience with Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. From the moment I walked into their state-of-the-art showroom, I knew I was making the right choice. There was no pressure from the sales staff, and if I'm being honest, I felt like a kid in a candy store. I settled on the all-electric EQS SUV, and let me tell you why. First of all, the comfort. After a long day at work, I actually look forward to being in my car. It has several different massage settings, including my favorite, hot relaxing back. Plus, the seat heating and cooling features are perfect for the hot summer or those chilly mornings. Mercedes-Benz has the reputation of making the finest cars in the world. Now it's your turn to experience what I already know. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is the best car buying experience you'll ever have. They're just a short drive down I-5, or you can shop online anytime at mbfstockton.com. That's mbfstockton.com, and tell them Drape sent you.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Progressive's Teen Driver discount could lower the cost of insurance for your teenager and save you some money. And then you can still spend money on them. Because just when you think you have a grasp on spending, new sneakers. And then it's money for a school field trip. And of course, spending money. Oh yeah, and a new phone to replace the one they dropped in the toilet. Oh, don't remind me. So just get Progressive's Teen Driver discount. And then you can continue to spend money on them. Endlessly. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discount not available in all states and subject to terms and conditions.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Listen to the 49ers Red Zone Report daily, brought to you by Mountain Mike's Pizza, the official pizza of the 49ers. Mountain Mike's Pizza, pizza the way it ought to be.
Guys, it's time to know your numbers and what they mean. And right now, Revive Men's Health is offering a $400 comprehensive wellness panel for just $99. Free if you start treatment. Offer ends November 30th. Book today at ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
He and Scott Perry, UPS Chris might be part of the front office the way he's got this thing laid out.
Yeah, you're still holding on to that theory, right? The theory that this was a covert tank job?
Yes, sir.
Engineered by Scott Perry?
Yeah.
All right, we'll get all these guys. We'll try to win. Gee, we're not winning. I don't know why.
We gave it our best effort.
I'll tell you the team that I'd rather be the Kings in this club. If you look at the Western Conference standings right now, the Kings are 1-4. The only team they're better than in the West is the Pelicans, who are 0-4. However, I would much rather be the Kings than the Pelicans. You have to go back to this summer, June 17th, 2025. The Pelicans traded Indiana's 2026 first-round pick back to them for the 23rd pick in the 25 draft, along with the draft rights of a guy named Mojave King to clear $3 million in cap space. 5 days after that, Tyrese got injured, and the Pacers are now able to tank. They're currently 0-4, and that pick is projected to be third, the pick that New Orleans sent back to them. June 25th, 2025, during draft night, the Pelicans trade their own unprotected first to move up from 23 to 13 to select Derek Queen. So they're currently 0-4 after losing by almost 40, and that pick now would go, of course, to Atlanta. So the two picks they traded, the two picks that New Orleans traded in June, one of them right now would be the second pick, and the other one would be the third pick. Now, that can change, of course, but that's the way it looks right now.
Yeah, so it's, a lot of people over the last 24 hours have talked about the Pelicans and Joe Dumars, who was, part of the Kings camp for a while.
Right.
And how he came in and shuffled the board a few times and gave away a few picks. So we could be the Pelicans. We could be the Pelicans.
Glad we're not.
I'm with you.
Yeah. As of right now, long ways to go, obviously. But as of right now, the Kings are 7th. They'd have a 32% chance at a top 4 pick and a 7.5% shot at number 1 overall. Again, a long ways to go, but it's also interesting looking at these spots in the first round. The 13th pick as we speak, the 14th pick, and the 17th pick in the upcoming draft. So 2 lottery picks and the 17th pick. As of right now, they all belong to the Oklahoma City Thunder.
OKC. And to be completely honest, the way we know Sam Presti, and he did it last year, even with Sacramento Kings and Nick Clifford.
They also have the 28th pick. And I know, Jay, it's so redundant, the way they're always grabbing first-round picks. It always made you yawn.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Right. They'll trade 2 of those. You know how they do it. Because he'll get out and he'll say, meaning Sam Presti will say, we want the 2032 pick and we want the 2033 pick down the road. You know, he'll keep kicking the can down the road. He's littered over the next 5 or 6 years with picks. So they do a good job of making sure that they're always in the first round in some sort. Not just their pick, but someone else's pick. And so, like I said, we just saw this happen this past year. Even though I thought Scott Perry did well with the way he went and got Nick Clifford and the protections on it, still, the fact of the matter is OKC has multiple first-round picks.
Yeah. Can you imagine having so many future firsts that in some years you can look at it and say, we have too many firsts.
Mm-hmm.
They can't all make the team.
That's it.
We have to move some because we have too many.
And there it becomes. Now we're looking at 2032.
Yeah. All right, we'll just back some up. Make sure we've got some down the road.
Yep.
Incredible. That's the way you do it.
I mean,
that's what that's what tanking is. You know, there was a time when, and we've talked about this, and as you know, if you're a sports fan, teams used to rebuild. And in the NBA, it used to be, we'll have a bad year, and then we'll end up with a high pick. And if we get lucky, we get a great player, we're on our way. And then I think it wasn't Sam Hinkie with the Sixers decided, you know what? If it works okay 1 year, it works better if you do it 2 years or 3 or 4 years. He invented the tank, which is we're not even trying to be good for a few years because we're trying to compile as many first-round picks as we can, which increases the chance that we get the guy.
Yeah, and they missed on most of them.
Yeah, maybe
I
think the closest they came is Embiid.
Embiid. But Okafor was one of those picks, I believe, right? Jahlil Okafor. Ben Simmons. Fultz. They tried to jump on
Holiday,
Fultz.
And they traded him.
Yeah.
They didn't realize how good he was.
They missed on a few of those.
Yeah. Wasn't Nerlens Noel one of their high picks, lottery picks?
Was he of theirs or was he someone else? I can't remember, but
yeah, but they had a ton of them, and that was the whole idea.
Yeah,
but OKC did it, and it only took them really 2 years where they weren't very good, and then they drafted better players. So it was like, all right, we're building on these guys. They got to the point where a guy like Josh Giddey, who was the 7th pick, they were able to move him, and he still had value, and they got Caruso, and then what do you know, championship.
Yeah, Nerlens Noel was in 2013. The one thing OKC did, and this is what the Kings are getting ready to have to do, and it's a little bit, in taking the temperature of what happened in OKC, we've heard their fan bases something like the Kings fan base. That no one's like the Kings fan base. We are the best fans in the NBA, albeit, and we're one of the top fan bases in sports. But it sounds like they have something of a solid foundation fan base in OKC. They're not, somewhat rabid, I guess.
Only game in town and all that.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, pro.
The one thing Sam Presti did, though, is he identified a few young guns that he wanted to attach himself to. And without a doubt, he went with those guys. And that was SGA, Lou Dort, guys like that came from other teams. Or, as you talked about in other drafts, when I'm taking a look at a few guys that I really like, I'm going to say that I really like him, and I'm going to put my neck out. Like, SGA wasn't SGA, right? But depending on how you saw it, and I always go back to it. I remember our summer league sitting next to Coach Christie and sitting next to Coach Mike Dunleavy, Sr. And I said, man, this dude right here, in person when he's playing for the Clippers, and they were playing in the small gym, this dude was going to be the truth. Mm-hmm. Now, I didn't think he was going to be what he is now, but what I'm saying to you is this. there comes a point in time where you have to attach yourself to somebody that you like, right? And and not to bring up bad memories, but that was something I think people asked for Monty, is go out, stick your neck out there and find somebody that you want to attach yourself to and let the chips fall where they may.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like he never did that. It's going to be interesting to see if Scott Perry does that.
Yeah. To your point, yes, SGA propelled that whole thing forward for them, and they didn't draft him, of course. They got him in one of the trades with the Clippers, the Paul George trade. And so they knew he was good. They probably didn't know how good he was, and then they were able to actually build around him. So some of it was good luck, but they did it very methodically, and they did it very well. But you're right. It wasn't all about the players they drafted and how well they drafted. They traded for this guy that became like, wow, the best player in the league,
right.
Literally the most valuable player. Interesting piece today. I didn't want to get into it too much because it is another one of these pieces about the Kings that's not overly positive. Sam Quinn wrote about it today. And he wrote
CBS?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I bring it up now because you touched on some of the things that he talks about, Jay. Basically, in a nutshell, he says what the Kings did was when they had the Beam team and they had success, they almost panicked. What do we do now to make sure we don't lose this? And then they made it maybe a panicky move to when they had cap space after the Beam team year, the first year, they decided, let's give that to Domas.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't go out and get somebody. And then it became, what are we going to do? Rather than building methodically, it became, get DeMar DeRozan, get a veteran. We got to bring in a veteran here and stabilize this thing. And actually it had the reverse effect. So it's an interesting way to look at it. But it will be interesting to see if Scott Perry is able to figure out, all right, who do we keep, who do we build on? And that's probably going to take some time. Yeah, but it's an interesting theory as to what happened to the Kings. They got a little scared with that success that they had. Like, now what do we do?
Right.
And they didn't handle it well.
Yeah, I would agree. I wouldn't use panic, but I get what you're saying, and I get what Sam Quinn is. So, well, technically, you're paraphrasing here for Sam Quinn.
Yeah.
But it's like this for me, Whitey, and I think a lot of fans around Sacramento and Kings fans throughout our world had this conversation and was asking this question after the Beam Team year, which was exactly what Sam Quinn is saying is how do you continue to build on the foundation and get better, and how do you add some other pieces to it? But I always go back to this. It's like a new regime in the NFL and picking and or finding their quarterback to say, that's my guy, and we're going to win, lose, or draw. We're going to succeed or we're going to die, so to say, with this quarterback. And we've seen throughout the NFL that more times than not, you probably only have one quarterback to attach yourself, maybe two now. Guys are getting fired after 1 year these days. But I say that in the form of now with the Kings, and I ask you, and 916-339-1140, because now we've seen De'Aaron Fox leave. Now, of course, they got rid of Tyrese, and that's a step back, but we're talking about, the Beam team. With that being said, who did they ever attach themselves to? And was it Domas, or was it, as you said, we want to keep this together and let's just give Domas what we believe he earned through this year or year and a half prior to the Kings? I don't know if the Kings even attached themselves to Domantas Sabonis. It sounds crazy because they gave him a lot of money, so I can understand why people say, well, Jay, you crazy, man. They gave him a lot of money. Of course they attached themselves. But what I'm saying is I think the way the Kings see it is, Domas is not the star. I think they didn't attach themselves and make a choice or make a decision.
They thought Foxy was the star?
I don't know. And if that was the case, then I think they would have made sure of that. I think they would have had that nipped in the bud. I think, they all would have been on the same page. Conversations would have been had. We wouldn't have started all the mess that was started last summer. We wouldn't have seen it on media day. We wouldn't have seen it come through early on in the season. You probably wouldn't have seen Mike Brown gone so soon. So to me, the way the actions were as if they didn't attach themselves to De'Aaron Fox. And maybe they did behind closed doors, and maybe De'Aaron said, I don't want to be attached to you. I don't know that. But just from the actions, to me, the Kings never stepped up in the Monty regime and said, that's our guy. That's the dude we're attaching ourselves to. Win, lose, or draw, that's our guy.
Sam Quinn says the Kings were so bad for so long that the moment they tasted a shred of success, they grew terrified of losing it. And we'll look closer at that theory when we come right
digging
back.
the knife in us tonight.
Today. Sactown Sports. Coming up.
The only place you'll find Malik Monk is Sactown Sports.
Oh my, what an athletic move, that time by Malik Monk.
Hey Sacramento, it's Malik Monk and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Time now for your Sactown 49ers report, brought to you by Kia of Vacaville, located beside the Vacaville outlets. San Francisco loses in Houston on Sunday, 26-15, to fall to 5-3 on the year. The Niners played again without Brock Purdy, and they struggled offensively to score early, going down 13-0. The Niners are back in action on Sunday morning in New York. You can catch all the action beginning at 9 a.m. right here on Sactown Sports, 1140.
Football season is here at Kia of Vacaville. You can score big in a new 2025 Kia Niro LX with up to 53 MPG combined at Kia of Vacaville. Perfect for road trips, tailgates, and cruising to Levi Stadium in style and comfort. But don't wait. Inventory is limited at Kia of Vacaville, and these deals won't last long. Visit KiaVacaville.com or stop by right next to the Vacaville outlets for friendly service, easy shopping, and unbeatable value. All in one stop. Kia of Vacaville, where the adventure begins.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Febreze. It's a classic odor tale. You fried fish for dinner, cleaned up, but the smell is still in the house. And the neighbors are coming over for game night. They're on their way. And then you spray Febreze Air Mist. Febreze Air starts working instantly to fight even your toughest odors, so you go from fish to fresh like that. Now all you have to worry about is Pam cheating at charades.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
When the chill in the air sends shivers down your spine, don't let your home turn into a haunted house. Keep things cozy and safe with Maverick Electric, your local family-owned team you can trust. Maverick Electric cares about the families they serve because they're part of this community too. So before the real chill sets in, schedule your seasonal tune-up. Visit MaverickElectricalServices.com and let their family keep yours warm and beautiful this Halloween season.
The deals are on now at the model year-end sales event at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? Save on year-end models and drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda. Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Let's go. You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at VaxAssist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-838-6767. That's 800-838-6767.
The statewide special election is November 4th. All registered voters will receive their ballot in the mail. Check to make sure you're registered correctly at elections.saccounty.gov or call toll-free 800-762-8019.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Top of the hour, Rod Brooks is going to join us. We'll look at the 49ers' upcoming game against the Giants on the turf of terror. Here's the latest on the quarterback situation from Matt Barrows. Brock Purdy, toe, questionable for Sunday. He won't start. Mac Jones will, but Purdy could be available against the Giants, Kyle Shanahan said.
Emergency issues, huh?
Yeah, well, Mac Jones was on the injured list this week with knee, which means he had the sprained knee, and then he also hurt the other knee.
Other knee, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think Kyle wants to play Brock Purdy, but he's available if need be. Speaking of all the injury list issues, the Ravens were fined $100,000 today for violating the league's injury report policy by incorrectly listing Lamar Jackson's practice participation last week. They said one day he was a full participant when in fact he had only run the scout team, and that's a violation. And the league looked into it and determined, all right, it was a mistake, but it was an honest mistake. So they fined the Ravens $100,000. This, of course, becomes a bigger issue because you've got gambling overtures.
Yeah.
It wasn't a factor in this particular case, but obviously it could be. It's all about the gambling these days, Jay. Everything is about the gambling.
As you said, follow the chips, follow the coin, follow the money.
Mm-hmm. We were talking earlier about the fact that the NBA officials are going to be wearing headsets starting this week. And I know there were some jaded comments from fans on the text line. People say, oh, yeah, that's going to lead directly to accusations of fixed games. If you got the officials during the game talking to whoever they're talking
to. I got them beats in the ear.
Yeah.
Them AirPods,
like
right?
Said, I don't think that's going on, but it's not a great look for the league right now.
Nah, it's not. It truly isn't. Not for, like 209 says the rig accusations write themselves with the live earpiece.
That's it. That's the
UPS
one, yeah.
Chris, that's an earpiece straight to Vegas.
Yeah.
It's a bad look for what's happening throughout the league right now. I just don't understand what the reasoning is. Until that comes out, then we'll see. But I'm in agreement with you in the form of, this is endorsement, advertisement money. You know how it is.
Yeah, I would be surprised if it's not that, but we'll see.
Come on.
Yeah.
People are lining up right now to get the name rights. And the like I said, the Apples, the Microsofts, all the technology companies, tech companies, they're coming through right now.
Mm-hmm.
What is it going to take for us to be in the ears of referees?
Yeah.
And get that logo posted on the back of the jersey? And it's inevitable.
I'll tell you what, Ann Fong picked a good year to have her name on the jersey because something's wrong.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
She truly did.
Something is wrong.
What you think that costs?
I have no idea.
Yeah, boy, that's some long dollars, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Long dollars right there.
Yeah. Her offices are, I think, Land Park. I go by there. We go by there.
Right there on Riverside.
But then she's also, yes, exactly, right across from the cemetery. But she's also very prominently featured on ads in the Bay Area, too, and at Warrior games.
Yeah, I know she has a few different offices as well.
Yeah. Speaking of the Kings, this is from Sam Quinn today, CBS Sports. Says the Kings were so bad for so long that the moment they tasted a shred of success, they grew terrified of losing it. Doesn't mean he's right, but here's an interesting theory. When they had cap space in 2023 that they could have used to improve, they spent it prematurely renegotiating and extending Sabonis in order to keep a core player happy. When they slipped from number 3 to number 9, ownership panicked, had tense negotiations with a unanimous coach of the year before ultimately firing him months later. He was replaced by Doug Christie, an inexperienced former Kings player. Vlade Divac had been the last former King to be hired into a key role. Never reached the playoffs as a general manager. Sacramento only ended its playoff drought when replacing him with a more traditional hire in Monty McNair. As it happened, this team engineered the acquisition of DeRozan, a big name whose on-ball skill set and limitations as a shooter and defender made his poor fit with the existing roster somewhat obvious. So Sam Quinn says when the Kings had success, they looked around and they weren't sure how to deal with it, and they got a little nervous about how do we hang on to it, and they let that pressure cloud their judgment when it came to some of the key decisions they had to make after that.
Yeah, it could be.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, most of that regime, if not all of it's not here, and so now you have to look at the new regime front office, and you have to look at the ownership group, and depending on where you want to point the finger, I guess, is the old regime versus the ownership group at that time. So I don't know, but I would like them, meaning the Kings, and we'll see. You have to give Scott Perry's only been on the job for so many months, but I would love to see this team, and I think we'll know. I think if you look at the track history of Scott Perry, and I use the example of a quarterback and a new regime in the NFL, coaching staff or GM or general manager, howbeit, I think we'll see this team choose someone. Now, is that someone in the league? Maybe not. Is that someone coming through college? Maybe so. I don't know. But that, for me, that's one of my arguments toward how the Kings moved. And if you weren't choosing someone, then I do think, as Sam Quinn is kind of alluding to, you needed to go get a John Collins. You needed to go get some extra help, too, until you made a decision on what your next big move was going to be.
The one thing I'll say for Scott Perry, because we just don't know how it's going to go yet, but he has consistently from day one said there's no shortcuts. And he has not said, we're not going to win anything, but he has consistently said this is a year about installing, a culture, and it's going to take time.
Sure.
So he has told us pretty much that this is not going to be something where they're going to win 60 games this year.
Yep. And it's – I mean, I would imagine – I don't want to put words into Scott Perry's mouth, but I would imagine the fact is he was brought here to do a job, and as much as he cares about the fans and hears what the fans are saying, and, to the best of my knowledge, he has been very visible as the general manager of the Sacramento Kings in Summer League. And, he's been on our station, on our show. He's been around multiple places.
Yeah.
He hasn't really shied away from conversations.
And that's one of the things he does very well.
I'd also say behind that, there's got to be a small or maybe a even bigger portion that he don't really care about what the fans are talking about. He was brought here to be the general manager of the Kings. And as you said, it's going to be within my timeline that I was given from this ownership group and rock with me. And the toughest part about it is something that you consistently told Draper, and Draper consistently tried to kick back to you is patience is you've said it like this. You can't remember a time in the kingdom of Sacramento where fans just haven't been this patient. They're over it. They're done. They're tired of seeing, non-winning basketball. And then on the opposite side of the spectrum, you have people who's like, well, this is a new regime. You can't grade these people off of what happened over the last 3 years. And we're just caught between a rock and a hard place, to be honest.
Yeah, it's like Jeff Petrie said, if you're going to lead the orchestra, you have to turn your back to the audience. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Ty joining us here on Sactown Sports. Happy Halloween, Ty. What's up? Ty? Hello? Ty, are you there? Oh, he disappeared like a ghost on Halloween. He'll be back. How about Coach Savage on Sactown Sports? Hey, Coach Savage, you're on with Jay and Whitey. What's going on?
Hey, Jay and Whitey, Burbank guy, Mm-hmm. But anyway.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Come on now.
I know, but, hey, guys, I was a Warrior fan way back when, Rick Barry won the championship, and Gus Williams and all them, and then the Kings came into town in '85, I believe it was.
Yeah.
And, I switched over, and, we had that little run in the 90s, but, I'm just getting tired of losing and just tired of poor general manager decisions.
You're not switching back, are you? Are you talking about switching back, Coach Savage?
Well, I tell you what, I'm totally not a bandwagon guy, and I always root for the underdog, so I'm used to losing all the time.
Okay.
And of course, I bet on 3 teams for the Super Bowl, and so one was the Chiefs and Philadelphia to make you get one guy there happy. But so when they play, I hate rooting for them because that's what happens when you bet. But the Kings, they have no forwards. They've overpaid for Murray. I mean, he's a passive player. He's not a Bulldog Kobe Bryant guy. And so the Kings overpay for all their players, and that's why they can't make trades. They got guys that other teams want, but they're all overpaid, and nobody wants to pay those salaries. I know their hands are tied, and, hey, I have nothing wrong with Doug McDermott. I like him, but did Scott Perry sign him? Because that was just another guard that You should be signing forwards, not guards. And the only guy you could probably trade that doesn't make a bunch of money is Keon Ellis and, the guy we drafted last year, even though there's probably not a lot you're going to get for him.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see any hope with the Kings. And, I mean, honestly, the last game they had, I turned it over during the World Series, and the other team was on a 16-2 run, and I just went out, here they go again. I'm going, man, I'm pretty much done. And, the thing is, if you remember a few years ago, the Kings were losing like crazy, and all of a sudden the sellouts weren't happening, the fans were disappearing, and that's going to happen again this year. I mean, the way they're going with the structure of the team, I wouldn't be surprised to see them 3-15, and you're going to start seeing people getting pissed and paying the prices. So with that in mind,
Gotcha, Coach.
My other point is, I'm a big A's fan. I go all the way back to 1968, and I went to like 6 A's games this year. It was great. But the way I look at the A's, I think they've got at least 5 players that can make the All-Star team next year, not counting any pitchers that can come out of the dark. And so I just think you guys talk like 5 hours a day with the Kings. I think you should at least spend an hour a day, cut the Kings' time down, and talk about, let's call them the Sacramento A's while they're here at least. I mean, there's a lot of upside there. I bet on them to win the division last year. It was 24-1. I don't know what it's gonna be this year.
That was donations. You were making donations there, brother.
But guys, hey, if they wouldn't have had that one bad month of, I believe it was March, when they went like 1-20, something like that, they actually would have been right in there at the very end, fighting for at least a wild card or something.
Gotcha, Coach.
And they've got a lot of good.
Yeah, I apologize.
Yeah,
they do. Thank you. And you made your point. They definitely have an up-and-coming team. I don't know that there is the interest in talking about the A's on the radio right now that there is in the Kings, but thank you. I didn't mean to cut you off, but we got to take a time out here. And when we come back, we'll turn our attention to the 49ers, and Rod Brooks will join us. How will the 49ers fare on the turf of terror this week? That and more next with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
The excitement of the game is here, and so are the model year-end savings at Stockton Honda, the best Honda dealer in Northern California. Score big with low payments, more for your trade, and a huge selection. Don't wait. The clock is ticking at StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Based on the results of the study, recognized on June 18, 2025, USA Today's list of California's top car dealers 2025.
At Power Business Technology, we're not another big box corporation. We're your neighbors, locally owned and operated. We know what businesses like yours need, from reliable printers to high-performance copiers. We'll help you find the right solution with personal service you just can't get online. Need setup or support? We're just down the road and always happy to help. Power Business Technology, family hometown service with big-time solutions. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Hey there, Mark and Tom, the travel and entertainment guys, brought to you by Sports Leisure Vacations. Time for our weekly travel tip, and with it, here's Mark Hoffman.
We've talked before about how airlines make money these days. It has little to do with the fare you pay and more to do with the seat assignment you buy, the bag you check, and the credit card you use with their name on it. Fees for assigned seats are, of course, a total ripoff, but they're part of travel now, and there are a few times you may want to consider paying a ransom to purchase a seat. 1. If you're traveling with friends or family members, you want to visit on the flight, and you can't do that if you're in 22E and the rest of the clan is in row 9. 2. When you want to work during the flight, you'll probably want an extra legroom seat. 3, if you're a woman, few women traveling alone want to be stuck in a middle seat between two men, especially large men. 4, when you have a tight connection. 5, when you want to sleep on the plane. 5 solid reasons to pay for an upgraded coach seat.
More tips to make you a smarter traveler Saturdays at 11 a.m. right here on Sactown Sports 1140.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sactown Sports 1140. Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Are you buying this, Jay? I know you're not a huge analytics guy. Am I right? Not a huge analytics guy?
Yeah, not much.
All right. According to NFL.com, and Rod Brooks is going to join us just a moment here. According to NFL.com, the 49ers right now currently have a 70% chance to make the playoffs. If they win, that goes up to 78%. If they lose this week, it goes down to 58%. You think there's anything to that? 70%
now. A little bit, maybe a little bit.
If you lose, 58%. That's a little low, I think. But that's
it's part of it. You take a loss, you take a little hit.
Are we good with Rod? Or are we still getting him ready to go here?
Still trying to get him out. There he goes. Big Rod's in the building. He's in the building. Come on, man. I knew he was gonna be there.
Yeah. Rod Brooks with us. Of course, he is the host of the Quality Hang Pod, and he's an NBC Sports Authentic 49er analyst. What do you think of this, Rod, on this Halloween? These are some scary numbers. 49ers, according to NFL.com, currently 70% chance to make the playoffs. Win this week, 78% chance. Lose, it goes down to 58%. That hold any water with you, Rod?
Yeah, it does. I don't expect them to lose, though. I mean, listen, the Niners, they got embarrassed last week by the Texans, but to me, they embarrassed themselves. They embarrassed themselves by only having 18 minutes and 38 seconds worth of possession. And that's a both sides of the ball problem, okay? That's when the Niners got possessions in the first half, they didn't do anything with them. Way too many 3-and-outs. Defense couldn't get them the ball back, couldn't get off the field. And once the Texans got rolling, once they established what they were trying to do, and they were just eating the Niners blitzes alive, picking them up with their six-man at time fronts. And C.J. Stroud was getting the ball out quick, getting it to his hots. Once they started rolling and once they started scoring touchdowns over the field goals they were scoring in the first half, it was night for. Oh, I probably shouldn't have said that. It was over with. My bad. Over with for the Niners. So, but this Sunday, and again, it's NFL. Any given Sunday, anybody can be beaten. The Giants are the worst rushing defense in the league. Okay, by all metrics. They are terrible, 32 out of 32. And you could get them up the middle, but they are very susceptible on the edges. And so go back to the Atlanta game, where I told you the Niners are going to win that game because Atlanta's run defense is not very good. What the Niners do, they ran the ball, but they ran the ball mostly between the tackles with the gap zone scheme instead of the outside zone scheme. Well, this week it's going to be the flip, right? Because, again, looking at all the metrics as far as the Giants not being able to stop the run, they are very, very susceptible to outside runs, to outside zones. So I see the Niners doing what all teams that have played the Giants have done this year, which is to run the ball on them. The Eagles last week had two guys rush for over 100 yards, right? Obviously one of them being Saquon Barkley. I'd be surprised if the Niners did not have the requisite amount of success they need to run the ball, to score off that run game, but more importantly, shield that young defense and keep them off the field, because that's where the issue is. And until the Niners get a pass rush, and maybe they'll be able to craft one up this Sunday against the Giants, but until the Niners get somewhat of a consistent pass rush, I really do think shielding that defense, particularly the back half of it, linebackers to DBs to safeties, to me, that's the most, other than scoring points, that's the most important function for this offense.
Jay, I'm going to ask Jay a question here. Do you think Rod took any joy or pleasure out of the way the Houston Texans thrashed the 49ers last week, being a Houston guy?
I'm pretty sure just a little bit. I'm pretty sure. As I sit there and I look back, I see the Too Short Ice Cube poster.
Yeah.
I see a few things, and if I really look back, I see an imaginary Houston Texans maybe logo sitting up in the left corner.
No, you don't see that. No, see up there. You see Earl Campbell. That's what you see.
That's right. That's right.
And then you see that's Keem Olajuwon over there. I mean, I wanted the Niners to win,
sure,
because quite frankly, it makes my job easier.
Yeah,
right. Very, very true.
But yeah, I mean, I'm still a fan for sure. So it was the game where I couldn't necessarily lose. But I wasn't surprised by any stretch of the imagination that the Texans played better than they did against the Seahawks, their previous game before the Niners, just because I know, again, being a fan, I know what the Texans have offensively. I know what they don't have offensively, but more to the point, I know how good that defense is. And the Niners saw how good that defense was. And Niner fans who watched that game last week saw how good that Texans defense is. And quite frankly, again, that to me, the most egregious part of the Niner loss was their inability to get the ball back to the offense and the offense to do anything with it. And so for the offense and the defense to work almost in perfect harmony to do all of the things wrong, to get you to get beaten the way they got beaten by the Texans, that's why I think this week is they're going to put a good one on the Giants. Not just because the Giants are susceptible to the run and the Niners can pick up on that, just because, again, the Niners got embarrassed, but they embarrassed themselves more than anything. Because the Texans are not as bad as their record indicates.
Right.
But the Niners shouldn't have got worked the way that they did last Sunday.
I would say, Rod, a lot of it, and you've already touched on it on both sides. The lines of this team, meaning the 49ers, they're getting whooped. O-line side and defensive side. Keon White being picked up. We'll ask about that here a little later in the interview. But this team in the trenches, this team is getting whooped on both sides. Is there anything this team can do beside the obvious, which is get some healthy bodies and at the same time add guys like Keon White and Mr. Farrell?
Well, I'm going to start with the offensive line. This is a bone of contention, particularly on social media, but we know social media isn't real life. But I think the offensive line is not as bad as people make it out to be. Now, last week, one person in particular had a rough day. Colt McKivitz had a rough day because Will Anderson just got parked on that right side, the defensive left side, offensive right side, and he just went to work on Colton McKivitz. Will Anderson has done that to a lot of people. Colton McKivitz as a pass protector could be better, needs to be better, but I think overall you could do a lot worse than him with Colton McKivitz out there at right tackle. After a slow start to the season, Trent Williams is looking like Trent Williams. I don't know how you could find any fault with him. Hennessy is a much better pass protector. He's much better in pass protection than he is in run blocking. You look at all the stats, he wasn't necessarily the problem for the Niners last week against the Texans. The issues have been mainly right guard, Dominic Pooty. There's been a regression, and I think that regression is purely because he's not completely healthy. There's no way that Dominic Pooty has become that bad of a right guard in less than a year's time, because he was damn good last year, all rookie team last year. So Dominic Pooty is just not healthy. Left guard Connor Colby came in that Saints game, and I think while he's put up a good fight, he was drafted in the 7th round, and he is learning it's trial by fire. Don't know. I don't believe that Ben Barch is going to be back in the mix, but when Barch is healthy, that change is going to be made. So to me, I just think last week they ran up against a superior opponent as far as that Texans defensive line is concerned. Texas defensive line has and will make a lot of offensive lines not look very good. Now, to the defense, it's injuries. So, as I mentioned, the Texans were able to put Will Anderson on Colt McKivitz and say, sick him. If Bryce Huff were able to play last week, and by the way, he's not going to play this week. He should be back online. That hamstring should be healthy enough to play against the Rams here in the Niners' next game. But if Bryce Huff would have played last week, he would have been stationed on the left side of the Texans' offensive line where they are the weakest, and he would have worn out that rookie left tackle, Ursary. But because of injury, they couldn't do that. So the Texans, they didn't have to give that rookie left tackle any help. They didn't have to chip. They didn't have to do anything. They could just play straight up. And when they went max protect, it was all over. So you don't have Huff. Obviously, you don't have Bosa. And we don't know if Gross Matos is going to play. We don't know if Okuwanu is going to play. So that's why, and we'll get into this conversation, why they had to get Keon White, why Cleveland Farrell coming back. We don't know if he's going to be elevated, but why Cleveland Farrell coming back is very important. They just don't have the bodies on that defensive line, which, again, is why them not being able to run the ball and not being able to sustain anything offensively, it exposed a defense that's missing way too many important dudes up front. And I'll throw Fred Warner in there, even though he's not a defensive lineman. They're missing way too many important dudes up front, and they're really, really young on the back end. Everybody not named Diamador Lenore got worked in that Niners defensive backfield. Why did they get worked? Because they couldn't get to the quarterback. Why couldn't they get to the quarterback? Because the blitzes were being picked up or they were getting beaten with short passes and checkdowns, and they damn sure couldn't get any pressure with their front four. If that happens this weekend against Jackson Dart, which I don't believe it will to the extent that it did last week in Houston, but if that happens this weekend, I'm not saying the result's going to be the same, but it's not going to be optimal for a Niner defense that is just missing too many bodies, particularly up front.
It's Friday, so we're catching up on the 49ers with Rod Brooks. Yeah, I don't think the national media, the media at large, made enough of the fact that Bryce Huff missed that last game. Mm-hmm. And Hennessy has been, he's barely missed a beat. That's incredible when you got your backup center in there and he's holding it down. But speaking of the injuries, Rod, how scared do you think it is for Kyle Shanahan to have his team play Halloween weekend on MetLife's turf of terror?
They don't talk about it because it wouldn't be a good look.
Right.
And you know how athletes are, how football players are. They're not necessarily because they don't want to be seen as making a preemptive excuse. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But everybody knows that turf stinks. And even though they changed the turf in 2023 and on the old version, remember, Bosa got hurt on that turf.
Yeah.
But even though they changed that MetLife turf in 2023, it's still taken down some players. And to me, it's not just the number of players that have gotten hurt playing at MetLife Stadium over the years on that turf, even on the new change turf from 2023. It's the names of the players, the type of the players. So they changed the turf in 2023. Remember when Aaron Rodgers tore his Achilles tendon?
Mm-hmm.
That was at the beginning of the 2023 season. Malik Neighbors tears his ACL. That's what reignited the debate, if there is one, because I don't think there is. There should be grass on all NFL fields, but there should definitely be grass at MetLife. So Malik Neighbors, young stud wide receiver, when he tears his ACL, once again we start to talk about how that field seems to be a house of horrors. Mm-hmm. And the NFL, the owners of the Giants, they can all say that the turf is better. The turf doesn't cause more injuries. Grass is not a panacea. It's not a cure-all for all injuries. I ain't buying it. I know what I see. And who am I going to trust? I'm going to trust the owners that have a financial incentive to not go with all grass, or am I going to trust the players who actually go out there and play and put their tendons and their limbs on the line? I'm going with the players.
Joined by Rod Brooks of NBC Sports. Rod, I know this is down the list a little bit, but someone who is connected to the team and connected as much as you are, I want to ask you this question. I asked Stevie Johnson, who joins us every week, about Brian Robinson Jr. and his 36 carries throughout the year, which is crazy. I can't even believe it's so little. Where is Isaac Guerendo? I could have swore coming into this season we thought or heard, or maybe I was misreading, maybe my eyes were deceiving me, that Isaac Guerrero would be a bigger part of this offense. I'm not saying, look, he was going to share carries, or obviously they went out, got B-Rob, but, I mean, he has been null and void.
He's not even returning kicks anymore.
Nothing. You don't even see him. Is he in the doghouse? What's going on?
He's fallen out of favor.
Okay.
Let's put it that way. If you want to say that he's I wouldn't necessarily put it in the doghouse. He's just fallen out of favor, and just made the great point. He's not even on specials. He's not even returning. All right. He's just fallen out of favor. Let me put it that way.
I got you. Keep it there. Keep it there.
Trade
yes,
him.
sir. Keep
so
it
you
there.
can trade him, right? You can trade him.
I mean, yeah, you could. You don't want to just outright dismiss him. We're just gonna, because you might need him at some point in time. But
Rod, real fast, before you answer, let me to kind of double down on that, and excuse me for cutting you off. Isn't this kind of becoming the narrative of what we're seeing with some of these running backs with Kyle Shanahan?
Well, I mean, listen, that's a very important position for that offense. And if you don't do things correct, it's very complicated. It's much more complicated than we give you the ball, you run. Yes, that is the one basic thing you need to do. But can you operate in the pass game? Can you not just can you run routes? Can you be a functional receiver? Can you pick up blitzes? Are you lining up in the right place? Like I think that's a big reason why Brian Robinson Jr. has not gotten a lot of carries. Because he's not going to catch the ball. Now, that's not what they necessarily brought him in for, but as we've seen the Niners, with the exception of the Falcons game, and I believe what we're going to see this Sunday, as we've seen the Niners struggle to run the football, they've got to do things in the passing game with their running backs. And who is one of, if not the best running back in the passing game in the NFL? Talk to me about Jonathan Taylor. Absolutely. Saquon Barkley can definitely do it, but Christian McCaffrey is on that list.
But Guerrero was a receiver, wasn't he, at one point in college?
But again, he's fallen out of favor, and if he's not doing the other things that are necessary, then he's just not going to get. You ain't gonna take Christian McCaffrey off the field,
right,
for Isaac Guerrero
until you hurt him.
Well, yeah, but you still got to play your best players.
True.
And if like when McCaffrey's out there, defenses are on high alert. He is basically a slot receiver playing running back. You can't say that about Guerrero. You know what I mean? Can you put Isaac Guerrero in the deep slot? You know, if you're in the shotgun, you could put Isaac Guerrero next to Mac Jones or Brock Purdy to his immediate right. Teams are not going to do that, but you can do that with Christian McCaffrey. Can you are you going to motion Isaac Guerrero to put him in a matchup against a linebacker that you know he can win? You could do that with Christian McCaffrey. If Isaac Guerrero goes in motion, teams are not all of a sudden going to freak out and go, "Oh my God!" You do that with Christian McCaffrey, teams notice. There's, again, you ain't gonna take Christian McCaffrey off the field for Isaac Guerrero. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, Rod Brooks with us. Yeah, when I suggested trading him, I'm not trying to get rid of him. I like him, but I just, you do have needs here. And speaking of, you mentioned Deion White and Cleveland Ferrell are back. How much do you think they could help? And do the Niners still need to do more to beef up the pass rush here before the deadline?
I think we're gonna find out this Sunday if more needs to be done. I think they will do more. Will it be splashy? I'm not willing to put money on that. Keon White said that he wants to play 80 plays. He might end up playing 80 plays.
Be careful what you wish for.
Be careful.
Because he's needed for sure.
Yeah.
With White, when I say fell out of favor, it didn't seem like it was necessarily contentious. He was drafted by Bill Belichick, and now they've gone through now. Second coach was at Mayo last year. Now it's Mike Vrabel. Vrabel didn't bring him in. They're doing things differently defensively in New England, and it's working for them. So for White, a guy who wants to play on the inside, that just wasn't working with where New England is right now. It's going to work perfectly for the Niners because they absolutely need him. And yeah, I think his versatility is going to pay dividends immediately because Keon White wants to play inside, can rush from the inside, but he can also get outside, and he is athletic enough to get around tackles, and he's big enough to where it's hard to block him with the tight end. And as I mentioned, he is big enough to where he can handle his business inside against guards and centers. So, he's like Michael Williams in that regard, where he can get that pass rush on the inside and then you can throw him on the outside as well. So his versatility and his availability are the two big things for the Niners. And Cleveland Farrell, again, I don't know if he's going to be active. My guess is that he would be because of all the injuries on the defensive line. But they just need bodies at this point, man. They are an absolute mash unit as far as the defensive line is concerned, like we talked about earlier.
Roddy, speaking of mass unit, I guess we'll get our weekly update. It looks like Barch practice time was open this week, should be back maybe hopefully for next week against the Rams. You mentioned Yetur Gross-Matos may be there also at the same time. Alfred Collins is definitely back. I think the big question becomes, we looking at Brandon Ayuk. Is there any shot, opportunity that his practice time is open next week?
John Lynch is finally publicly, I don't know if committed is the right word, but is committed to saying publicly that Ayuk's practice window should open next week. But again, that's just his practice window. I highly doubt that if Brandon Ayuk practices next Wednesday, the first practice before the upcoming game against the Rams, that Brandon Ayuk is going to play. I think it literally means practice window is open. He's going to practice, and then the real evaluation starts as to how long it's going to take for Brandon Ayuk to be able to be up and activated on the 53-man roster. So it's good news on the horizon for sure, but I would caution anyone from thinking that Brandon Ayuk's window for practice being open and him actually practicing means that he's going to play in the game following his first practice.
All right, Rod Brooks, I have two questions for you. I hate to stack questions, but I have two. One is, as I always like to ask you, how many points do you think the 49er offense needs to score to win the game this week? And two, was I hallucinating or did they intercept a pass last week? Did that happen?
They did.
All right.
And my consistent prediction that a Niner was going to intercept a pass finally came true.
It worked, baby. It worked.
Yeah.
I was 8 weeks on the pregame show saying this is the week it happens. Well, last week the Amador Lenore made me look good. Would have been nice if they could have scored off of that interception, but
he didn't know what to do. It had been so long. And now what do I do?
No, he knew what to do. He was like, I'm cribbing this bad because it's been so long since I've had one.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm gonna have one again. So let me go see if I can house this. But listen, I understand his desire to do that. And I kind of think he got a bum rap with people saying, oh, he should have gone out of bounds. Yes, that would have been optimal, but it's like when guys intercept a pass on fourth down instead of knocking it down.
Mm-hmm.
The best thing to do is knock it down because you get the ball back at where the original line of scrimmage was. If you intercept it on fourth down, it's almost like a long punt. It's hard for guys to think that way in the moment. But listen, the Niners got to get to the quarterback, and they've got to get some more interceptions to be 30th in both of those. Just not good enough. Jackson Dart has been sacked 17 times, and his legs are his strength, but he does run into some sacks. So this is going to be very different than last week. The Niners are going to get offensive possessions, and because of their ability to run, their desire to run, and the inability for the Giants to stop the run, I see the Niners scoring minimum 25 points in this game. Now, how much they give up is going to depend on them not allowing Jackson Dart to do what he wants to do, which is move and extend drives with his legs. On his 43 attempts, he's got 18 first downs. He's run for 4 touchdowns. He's run for a touchdown and thrown a touchdown in 4 games. Only Patrick Mahomes has done that. The problem for Jackson Dart, the problem for the Giants is I just don't think there's much to the passing game, especially with Neighbors and Scatterboo being out.
Yeah.
Dart's thrown 8 touchdowns. 4 of those touchdowns, 2 apiece, have gone to Neighbors and Scatterboo. And he's only throwing, his average yards per attempt is 6.9 yards per attempt. So it's not a lot going downfield. But don't let him turn what should be a 3-and-out into another set of downs, and it keeps the Niners defense on the field. But again, because they got embarrassed and they at times embarrassed themselves, I just see a much more representative and a much more spirited effort. Not that there was a lack of effort, but effort in this game on Sunday, as opposed to what we saw last week in Houston. And I think Robert Saleh, again, when we talk about not doing the job that we are accustomed to them doing, Robert Saleh's his defense, particularly sending all those blitzes, and it was out of necessity, but when they don't get home, they look bad. I expect Robert Saleh to do just as he did against the Falcons, to bring a defensive game plan that highlights what he still has defensively and masks their shortcomings, mainly, if not completely, due to injury.
Well, thank goodness it's Halloween, because he need a few masks coming out.
By the way, Jackson Dart apparently is a lunar lander.
Oh, I see you.
Yeah.
Look at Rod, baby. Look at Rod. I see you.
I'm like
a little Darth Vader, baby.
Yeah, I was going to say, pardon me, Jackson Dart is a lunar landing denier. So my nickname for him is Warren No Moon. That's my nickname for him. All right, Brad Brooks. We appreciate it, brother. Thank you very much. We'll see you on TV. We'll talk to you next week. Enjoy the game.
All right, fellas. Y'all have a great weekend. Happy Halloween.
Stay safe, man.
Yeah. See, he has a mask.
Yeah.
Allen today had a wig.
Did he?
Yeah. Bonte last night on TV had, I don't know, a wig and then like a shirt from the 80s. That's not a costume, Jay. That's all I'm saying.
That's taking an easy route out, huh?
Yeah.
Either you don't do it or you do it.
Yes, thank
I'm
you.
with you on that. I got you.
When we come back, why Halloween weekend is already one of the weirdest weekends of the NFL season. Next on Sactown Sports.
The Drive Guys, weekdays 2 p.m. to 6 p.m.
On Sactown Sports 1140.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BOOST25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Every time I turn around, my friends at Pure Talk give me one more reason to feel good about switching. This month, for instance, they're supporting Canines for Warriors, a terrific organization that trains rescue dogs and then pairs them up with combat veterans struggling with PTSD. The result? They're saving lives on both ends of the leash. This is why I switched to Pure Talk. I like being in business with an American wireless company who shares my values. Yeah, I appreciate unlimited talk, text, and plenty of 5G data for just $25 a month, and I bet you will too. But I think you'll really appreciate doing business with a company who gives back to the men and women who volunteered to defend our country. Just dial pound 250, say micro. With Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team, you can switch in as little as 10 minutes. Again, dial pound 250, say micro, to switch to an American wireless company who actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Carmichael Dave here for American Energy Heat and Air. Right now, breaking news, they're upgrading their offering to include plumbing, bringing that same expertise and experience to the plumbing space. They're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy home pros. You hear me talk about them as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get second opinions on any HVAC service or replacement, and now you can get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. They'll come out to your house for free, and they'll give you a second opinion and almost certainly save you money. Oh, but wait, there's more. With winter coming up, how about a free furnace special? With full system installation, you're getting a free furnace, not a discounted furnace, a free furnace, and up to $4,000 in rebates while that funding lasts. So get there right now, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Comment of the day nominee here. YouTube chat comment of the day nominee from Van to the Young. I could eat a storage shed full of those little Reese's foil wrap peanut butter cups.
I understand that. Those things are scrumptious. Things are pretty damn good, I must admit.
He also says the 100 grand is the underrated underdog of the candy bar world.
Ooh,
That's a
I
very
like
good
that.
candy bar.
I
I'm
like
with
that.
you.
That's a pretty good one right there.
Mm-hmm.
I like that one. That's better than that damn almond mound people be eating.
Yeah, I was going to ask Rod Brooks this question about players and candy bars. Then I thought, he's with his affiliation with the 49ers, I didn't want to put him in an awkward spot.
Okay.
But I asked Cam Inman a couple years ago, doing an interview with Cam Inman,
Mm-hmm.
friend of the show.
Friend of the show.
I said, this is when Jimmy G was still playing. If Jimmy G was a Halloween candy, what would he be? And without hesitating, Cam Inman goes, oh, Junior Mints. It was perfect. He didn't have to think about it, Jay.
He went straight
to
it?
Of course, there's only one answer.
Gosh. Yeah, that'll be tough. Jimmy G?
Jimmy G.
Oh, yeah, I'd probably came up with some type of nasty coconut version of something. Yeah. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. So Mac Jones this week starting, but Brock ready to go if needed officially, wink, wink. I don't think there's any way on earth they want him to play.
Adrian Martinez will be there. Suit up, Adrian.
Mm-hmm. This is a game that sets up nicely for the 49ers. The 49ers want to run the ball. They couldn't run the ball last week. Run the ball against the Giants.
Yeah.
Get back to Shannaball.
They need to. They need to exert some dominance, too.
Mm-hmm.
Rod was talking about the big guy, Trent Williams, playing left tackle.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you got to run behind him 63 times. Whatever you need to do, I think you need to go into the MetLife and get it done.
Yeah, that's what I was asking Stevie about yesterday. Yeah, because it's like the rest of that line, isn't it funny? The rest of that line is, okay to, and then you got one of the greatest of all time linemen anchoring down the line at left tackle.
Yeah, truly, Hennessy played very well to be in the position of starting for a backup. Yeah, you might have found something
Backup
there.
center sometimes is like, oh man, we got a problem.
You ain't lying. And I thought Rob made some good points, and I hadn't really heard this post early on in the season. Pooney being hurt. I hadn't really come across that. I know for the first couple of weeks, I'd read that, seen that quite a bit, but there's something there, huh?
Yeah,
there's
I think it's
something
his knee,
there.
and
Yeah,
he's playing through it.
He is.
By NFL standards, if you're playing, you're okay. But
right.
They're not.
He's not okay.
Yeah. Who was it? I think it was, again, I read a lot of Matt Barrows. I think Matt Barrows pointed out that in the last game he got knocked down a couple times, and he was really slow to get up. He got up, but you could see, he's feeling it.
Because, if you go down, who do you go to at this point? It's one of those things. If Pooney's not playing, then who's going to take his spot, especially with so many other people banged up? I got to give Trent some love, man, because it felt like he started off slow, and I think we all would agree that he didn't exert the dominance that we normally have seen Trent Williams in the first week or maybe the first couple of weeks. But he has pulled it together, and on top of that, I'm going to give him some love because, and I say this, please, tongue in cheek, stay healthy. He has been rock solid, and he has been healthy. I remember, was that against the Saints, or was that the Seahawks game? Is it week 1 or week 2 where he went down? Remember, he had to come off for a quick a spell for like a couple of plays, and it was at the actual end of a series, and then he bounced back in. I think it was the Saints game. I think it was the second game, but he's been rock solid, so you got to give him some love, man. You truly have to.
This obviously isn't completely up to date, but to answer your question about who would you go to, this is ESPN.com 49ers depth chart. You got Trent Williams, Connor Colby, Jake Brendel, Dominic Pooney, Colt McKivitz. Well, Brendel is out. So his backup is Matt Hennessy. He's playing. So you also have Trent Williams' backup, Spencer Burford. He's on injured reserve. Connor Colby, his backup, Ben Barch. He's on injured reserve, but as you said, could come back. The only other reserve on this chart is Austin Pleasant.
Ooh, man.
But, of course, they have people they could bring up from the practice squad, but they lost somebody, an offensive lineman
They
this
let
week.
go Moss.
Yeah.
Right? They let go
and I don't
Moss.
think they really wanted to, but he got snatched up.
Well, yeah, I think it's because to make room for Keon White. Yeah. So, they literally are looking at a few positions throughout this squad where they can't afford any other injury. Truly. And I think that's why Pooney is playing through whatever he is playing through with the knee. But there's been a few times, and we're talking about the defensive end. We don't know if Gross Matos is going to play this week. But truly,
I believe Shanahan said, pardon me, but he addressed that, I think today, said he's hopeful.
He's hopeful.
Yeah.
I saw that. He's 50-50 is what I'm taking it. We don't know. He's listed as questionable when I looked earlier today. And as you said, Shanahan talked about, he's like, we believe he's on. I think he said he's on the right track. He's on pace to get it done.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean anything.
Which means he's not clinically dead.
No.
The way Shanahan talks about players and their injuries, right? He's on the right track. Means we haven't notified next to kin yet. But.
Right. Seriously, the telegram has not been sent.
Yeah. He's doing better.
It's this team. I have no words sometimes when it comes to the fact of this, the health, the injuries, the ward. The ward is full of people. Still looking. Look at this, Whitey. And I look at the depth chart. Brock is still banged up, right? He's not going to play. Brandon Ayuk still down. Tricky Ricky P's out of there. Jacob Cowing has yet to play. Trent Taylor yet to play. We're talking about guys that you wouldn't even forgot they're not even on the roster at this point. Spencer Burford has been hurt since I believe week 1 or week 2.
But was a full go all week according to Matt
He
Barrows.
was. He allegedly is going to bounce back. Ben Barch is on the IR. His practice window was open this week, so it looked like he may play next week. Drake Brendel, of course, is out. Bryce Huff has been injured. Your tour Gross Matos. Bosa, of course. Teron Jackson, who can anybody point him out? He's been hurt pretty much all year.
Gross Matos practiced Thursday, but not Friday. Matt Barrows says he's out, but then he also said that, as we said, Shanahan said, will he be back this week? Hopefully he's trending in the right direction.
Yeah, 50-50.
Yeah.
50-50. Jordan Elliott, D. Winters, Fred Warner, Trey Tomlinson. It's so deep. Diamador Lenore is nursing an injury. We know Mustafa was gone before playing. It's just so many people.
Did you hear
so many people
about the I want to say blogger, YouTuber, and I don't say that disparagingly. That's what he is. and he does this for a number of teams, and he posted something this week. He has a lot of followers.
Okay.
He posted something this week on a possible explanation for all the injuries, and he's getting destroyed.
Oh, yeah, I did see that. Yeah, he's getting
by the San Francisco
smoked.
media.
Yeah, and by fans.
Yeah. Something about, they're near an electrical station, and
right.
the EMFs are, anyway, he's just gotten buried
man,
by people from San Francisco.
I'll be careful what you're speaking on these days.
Yeah. Real quick, I mentioned it's a strange NFL weekend. Jay, we have 7 home dogs Sunday and Monday. Washington, Buffalo, Las Vegas, Cincinnati, the Giants, Tennessee, and Pittsburgh are all home underdogs this week. Some of them are legitimate, like dogs with fleas that, you don't necessarily want to get involved with, but 7 home underdogs. And as far as the marquee matchups of the NFL weekend, Broncos, Texans, Colts, Steelers, Chiefs, Bills, that's about it.
Yeah, Chiefs, Bills is probably the one, right?
Yep.
Seattle, Washington on paper looks okay if Washington can come to play. Beyond that, it's ugly. It truly is ugly. Minnesota, Detroit would have looked better, in the beginning of the season. So it's ugly. Atlanta, you don't know. Kirk Cousins wants to be traded. Penix is hurt. You got, they're taking on New England. The Colts, Pittsburgh is interesting. I'm interested in that.
If the Colts win, which they're expected to, huge weekend for the Ravens. If the Ravens, they won last night, and then if Pittsburgh loses, 3-5, and they're whistling.
Well, I'll tell you one thing.
They're feeling good despite being 3-5.
And you talked about it yesterday, and I had to go check it out. Their schedule: Vikings, Browns, Jets coming up the next 3, then Bengals, Steelers. They have a winnable, some winnable games on paper. Very much so.
When we come back, we'll look at the Kings' most Halloweenish moment ever. We got Jerry Reynolds coming up top of the hour, too. Drive Guy, Sactown Sports.
The San Francisco 49ers play on Sactown Sports 1140.
Touchdown 49ers! Every game on your #1 sports station. Don't miss the action on your local sports leader. Sactown Sports 1140.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Brian's headed to the basketball court, but he's sick of this check engine light. So he goes to AutoZone for the free Fix Finder service.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
Where a friendly AutoZoner reads the light in just a few minutes and gives him a detailed report.
No big, just a loose gas cap.
And gets him to the court with a tight gas cap and tighter defense. The free Fix Finder service at AutoZone. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-329-2121. That's 800-329-2121.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details. We know exactly what you're not thinking about right now. Wiper blades. But now that you are, take a moment to think about how Rain-X is the #1 brand of wiper blades in America. Why? Because Rain-X thinks about wiper blades all the time. We obsess, so you don't have to. Simply install our blades and then think about literally anything else. So choose Rain-X, America's #1 wiper blades, and then go back to not thinking about wiper blades. Rain-X. Outsmart the elements.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769 3729 or visit us at powercopiers.com.
For over 90 years, Hagen Oaks has partnered with the biggest brands in golf to bring cutting-edge technology to your game. Our one-of-a-kind total game fitting offers a level of experience and precision that is unmatched. From driver to putter, footwear to golf balls, our TrackMan-powered performance studios, 3D footwear scanner, and Ping's Ballnamic ball fitting kiosk ensure every piece of your gear is tailored to your swing. Trust the experts at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Total game fitting starts here.
Just announced, Stockton Honda has been named #1 of California's best car dealers in 2025 by USA Today and Statista. This prestigious award is based on thousands of customer reviews and recommendations, ranking dealerships for service, value, and satisfaction. Out of hundreds evaluated, Stockton Honda is proud to be #1, recognized for all-around excellence and commitment to our customers. Visit Stockton Honda, where reputation meets the road.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
When I was a kid, I remember my dad, a lineman, leaving in the middle of the night. Families were depending on him to get their power back on to keep them safe and warm. Watching him taught me that this work isn't just about wires and circuits. It's about people and the trust they place in us when the lights go out. That's why I started Maverick Electric Heating and Air, to carry on that same promise of showing up, doing it right, and protecting families when they need us most. Visit callamaverick.com.
Live and local, it's The Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Jerry Reynolds going to join us top of the hour. The conversation obviously will swing back to the Kings before we get into the Kings' most Halloweenish moment ever. Jay, I want to ask you how you're feeling about this baseball game tonight. You know, all due respect to Dodger fans, and I know many Dodger fans, and as I've mentioned many times, my mother was a Dodger fan. I'm just not pulling for the Dodgers. I think in some ways it'd be good for baseball if they won 2 in a row. Some ways perhaps it would be bad because people would look at the economic disparity. But all that aside, Jay, how you feeling about the game tonight? I know you're with me on the Jays.
Yeah, I'm hoping, Kevin Gausman can throw a heck of a game today.
Mm-hmm.
I think you have to nullify the Dodgers' bats more than anything, and really it's the top of the lineup, the top 4, even though they're locked and loaded throughout the lineup. If you can allow them not to set the table, then I'm all for it. Kevin Gausman went 10-11 during the season. He had 3.59 ERA, but he had a high K strikeout number. You know, he was tied for, I believe, when I looked yesterday.
He got that split.
17th, so he's tied for 17th. So almost 189, 190, almost 200 Ks, man.
I think the Dodgers took him over the wall a couple times his last start.
Yeah, but don't speak that into an existence, Mr. Gleason.
Well, I'm just analyzing what's going on. You know, you sit on that split. Some of those like Max Muncy, them guys look out.
Right.
But I think that was the beginning of the end. We just didn't know it at the time for Farhan in San Francisco when they had that great year. And then Gausman was a free agent, and I believe he said he wanted to stay there.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a really good year with the Giants. And they just let him go for really no good reason. And he's done a great job with the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
Why the Giants didn't sign him, I still don't know. I guess they just didn't want to spend the money, and they had it.
Yeah, well, there's a few things I think people are questioning what's going on down there in San Francisco.
Yeah, Farhan's gone now.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
Very true.
Mm-hmm.
I like the chances. I do say this. You have 2 opportunities to get one in your own ballpark. You got to there's nothing, it's not set up any better for you, right? The setup for the Blue Jays looks amazing on paper. We all know the last one is the toughest to get, but I do think it takes, pitching wins championships, especially in the playoffs. We've seen it time and time and time and time again. If you have 1 or 2 guys who can bust tail on the mound, they can nullify a good offense in the playoffs. And so I'm looking for Gausman to really come out. Let's keep them strikeout numbers high as possible. And I have a good – if you stick to just – here we go, analytics. If you stick to what you've done all season, that probably means you're going to give up around 2 to 4 runs. If we go off your average, it's 3.
Yamamoto-san hasn't been giving up anything.
Yeah, but you know what? When you get to see a person a few times, things change.
Could, yeah.
So I'm thinking all positive thoughts for the Blue Jays. I don't even want to see a Game 7. I understand the excitement for it, but come on, Toronto, just wrap it up and have your parade next week.
It's a long ways from over. But
yeah, of course.
If Toronto wins, I think some people will view it as a huge upset. I don't think it will be. I mean, it'll be an upset, but I don't think it'll be anything compared to like what we were watching yesterday before we left here when they had on ESPN. The 88 Dodgers beating the A's. That was just stunning. That was like, this can't be happening.
Right.
This is not that type of upset.
No, because the Blue Jays are a better team than the Dodgers. Sounds crazy because the Dodgers made it to the World Series, but they weren't as power-packed in 88, meaning the Dodgers, as the A's. The A's were littered with people.
Yeah, and the Dodgers at that time were just riddled with injuries.
Sure.
But I remember, was it 03 when the Marlins beat the Yankees? It was like, whoa. But this
pitching, but there we go.
Yes,
talking about pitching is someone who took over. I think anyone beating the Dodgers, we would all look at it as being an upset.
Sure,
this coming into the season, it was the Dodgers championship to lose.
Yeah,
and you got to give them credit. And this sounds crazy coming out of my mouth, but you have to give them credit in the form of they've dealt with the pressure all year long. They literally have. And they've gotten to Game 6 of the World Series. And so they've done a great job withstanding everything on the outside and playing their, doing what they do and playing ball at a high level. And they've succeeded all the way up to this point. Now, with that being said, I'm just hoping. Come on, Blue Jays. Take care of business now.
Yeah, my mom was a Dodger fan. Now my mother-in-law is a Dodger fan because she's from Okinawa and Dave Roberts is from Okinawa. So... And she's a big fan of Ohtani and Yamamoto and Roki Sasaki and all that. So I get it. I understand it. But I hope you're right, Jay. I hope this thing ends tonight.
Yeah, I'm with you. And let's not forget, Blue Jays had more wins than the Dodgers, too.
There you go. That's why they have home field.
Dodgers had 93. So Blue Jays have earned their stripes.
No, they're legit.
They're zebras, baby.
Yeah.
They're zebras.
Yeah. They're not some, fly-by-night underdog that's doing the miraculous fall run. They're a legit team. I'll be still a little surprised if they win, but I won't be shocked at this point. Won't be shocked at all. This was shocking. Maybe you remember this. We've talked to Jerry about this. I'm sure he remembers this. This is the most Halloweeny moment, Halloweenish moment. I will go with Halloweeny. In the history of the Kings, 16 years ago, the Kings were in San Antonio, and they were playing in the big AT&T Center there.
Okay.
And the Spurs won 113-94, but what people will remember is that at one point a bat flew down. It had been flying around.
I remember that.
Yeah. To the sidelines twice in the first quarter. Officials stopped the game as it circled, then flew across the AT&T Center's court. And then they tried to get a towel to catch it, then a net. Manu Ginobili standing there. He just, when that little bat flew by, just whap.
Slapped him.
Yeah, and the crowd roared.
Yeah. I was wondering where you was going with this.
Yeah. It was on Halloween, and there was a bat on the court.
Yeah, what's going on in San Antonio? Riverwalk, baby.
Mm-hmm. He said, when you can't dunk anymore, you have to find a way to make it into the news. So that's what I did. I grabbed a bat. I didn't think it was a big deal. Then the whole arena started chanting my name. It was his teammate Tony Parker led the Spurs with 24 points, but Tony Parker said, that was amazing. The legend continues with Manu. Unbelievable. He's always doing crazy stuff. But I believe because it was, you don't know with the bat if it's rabbit or what's going on. I think he had to get the treatments. He had to get the shots, a series of shots.
Take it to the buttocks?
I think one of the reasons that is so painful is because, and maybe it's changed, I think that has to be administered in the belly.
Ah.
Yeah. So I think that's why it hurts so much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get that lockjaw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. As Spencer Haas said, I guess in Argentina.
Who said this?
Bat hunting is part of everyday life.
No. Who said this?
Spencer Haas.
Who?
Somebody had to do it.
I know
and
you
it wasn't
didn't.
going to be me.
It must be Halloween you're talking about that, gentleman. Who said that?
That's what he said. I'm sorry.
Why would you even read that portion of the article?
He's quoted in the article.
Why would you read that portion of the article here in Sacramento, Mr. Gleason?
And it wasn't the most clever comment.
Are you trying to be spooky?
It wasn't weird. It wasn't spooky so much. It's just weird on a Halloween for a bat to be flying around.
Man, is it more weird that a bat was flying around or Spencer Hawes was read here in 2025 by a legendary persona like yourself?
That's part of the story.
You don't have to read it.
He said that.
Do it like college. Just sift through certain things, highlight certain things, and move on.
But it's kind of a dumb thing what he said. I guess in Argentina, bat hunting is part of everyday life. Okay?
Oh, man. Wait, Justin says, come on, Jay. The Dodgers don't have any pressure. I don't know if I agree with that. They've won the rings. Okay, I give you that. Albeit one may be having an asterisk. They have the payroll, ain't no pressure. They've been there. They've done that. There ain't no pressure. I think if you listen to what the Dodgers are saying, saying something a little different.
I think they have significant amount of pressure, and I think you can see that. I feel like I see that. But if we go to a seventh game, all that house money Toronto's been playing with, that's all gone.
That's a lot of pressure.
You get to game
on
7, then it's like, all right, now you got to deliver.
It's a given. And that's why I said you have to give them a pat on the back and the fact that they've cruised. We saw it a few times during the season. I would agree with that, Justin, in the fact that, they cruised. They put it on, cruise control throughout the season. You get to the playoffs. What you mean ain't no pressure? You're trying to win a ship, baby. Mm-hmm. A ring, back to back. You're trying to – this is legendary status. Of course there's some pressure.
Yeah.
Absolutely it's a little bit of pressure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No pressure, but Jerry Reynolds is going to join us next year.
Man, he's saving you because you're talking about Spencer Hawes. I'm not even going to bring that up to the legend like that.
I guess in Argentina, bat hunting's popular. Jerry Reynolds next on Sactown Sports.
Download the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento sports in your pocket. This is Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with primetime football. It's back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high-hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game, offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com, and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Ready to pregame for your next big arena event? Head to Beach Hut Deli, a Sacramento tradition for over 40 years where aloha is served daily. Located just steps from the arena, whether it's game day or a concert night, it's the perfect spot to gather with friends and enjoy amazing sandwiches. Planning a bigger get-together? Beach Hut Deli offers endless catering options to bring those fresh, delicious flavors to your next party or event. Beach Hut Deli. Good vibes, great food, and epic times await.
No, it's not too soon to start holiday shopping. Ulta Beauty's early Black Friday event is happening now through November 22nd. Shop $10 beauty minis from brands like MAC and Too Faced. Take 30% off Lancome and Touchland fragrances and body mists. With new offers dropping every week, our associates can help you find the perfect gifts. Head into Ulta Beauty today to shop our early Black Friday event. Ulta Beauty. Gifting happens here.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Your local sports leader in the 916.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sactown Sports.
Jerry Reynolds?
Hey, I'm great, guys. I am great. Great to be with you, and listening to the story of Manu Ginobili and knocking down a bat on Halloween. Of course, I had front row seats to that event.
Why didn't you do it? Why weren't you the one?
Well, I don't like bats, and if the bat was going to get me, he's going to have to come under the table. So there's that, and I've got to admit something here to Jay, because I have a lot of respect for Jay, and you know how like alcoholics got to go through a 12-step program.
Yeah.
Well, I've got to kind of give my step here to, I'm the guy, being a Kings broadcasting shill that I was. I came up with the nickname Hawsome.
Oh.
So I'm not real proud of that now, Jay. And then even Shock and Hawes.
Yes,
I remember Shock and Hawes.
Yeah. Shock and Hawes, and I mean, so that wasn't my finer moment, fellas. It was not my finer moment.
I forgive you, as do all Kings fans do.
Steps to go to kind of clean my soul. The next step.
I don't know how you did that, Jerry, because he forgave you right away, but I happened to read a quote from Spencer from the bat game, and Jay will never forgive me for that.
Well, I was going to say, I'm kind of with Jay there a little bit. You probably could have let that one rest, but like I say, that's why I felt like it's necessary for me to cleanse myself.
All right, fair enough. Hey, here's some good news. Neat Clifford upgraded to questionable for tomorrow night, so even if he doesn't play tomorrow, he'll be back soon enough, and won't he be like a breath of fresh air once he's playing again, Jer?
Well, it's going to be great to see him out there. I really think that he's got a chance to be an awfully good player, and obviously the limited time we've seen him, he certainly, can't hurt. That's for sure. I mean, this team, they need. It's a shame when a 6'5" guy is adding size, isn't it?
It really is. It really is. Yeah. Were you surprised the Kings started, and I'm not making fun, this is what they did. They essentially started 4 guards along with Domas against the Bulls. Did that surprise you? A little bit. It, although it probably was their, maybe best team, and that's I've always said, try to get your best players out on the floor. And I think they did that. The bad news was that I think the average age was about 33 years old, and so that's not encouraging. Is Spencer Hawes still? Do you know if he's still working out or anything, Jerry? He can bring some size back. I'll try to find out. Hey, he might be able to give him 10 minutes backup center. What do you think? There you go, Jay. What do you think, Jay?
Hey, I'll let you guys bark up that hill. Someone that is big and has played a few games here is Dylan Cardwell. Legend, what's your take on Cardwell so far?
Well, he's got a chance. He can protect the basket a little bit. He doesn't really have any offense, but, he's just one of those guys that you probably got to spend time with. I'd kind of like to think that they'd be better off if they get him down to Stockton and where he could play 30 minutes a night for a lot of nights, and then, work him in as they can. I mean, they do have Eubanks and Sarge. I don't know what that means necessarily, but I just think that's a young guy that needs to play. My opinion, Jer, I'd love to know what you think, and obviously you've lived it, you've done it professionally. The Kings obviously came into this year with some idea to compete for something, but they're off to this slow start. The schedule gets really tough from here. Aren't we close to a point where they would have to say, look, we can't win anything this year. We have to focus more on developing the younger guys? Well, I would think so. I mean, it's going to get to that point probably. And you do just think it's like you got to find a way to play Clifford and Reynaud and certainly Keon Ellis and the younger guys at some point. If in fact you can't win with 35-year-old guys and so forth. I mean, there's nowhere you go forward. It's not like, next year they'll be a lot better. And aging doesn't generally work that way.
No.
I mean, I'm getting better with age, but that's a rarity.
You're the exception.
I'm the exception.
right?
I'm the one of one. I'm like Wembanyama. There's just only one of us.
Joined by the legendary Jerry Reynolds. Jerry, one of the conversations we had pretty good yesterday was about Keon Ellis and where he fits and how this team fits around him. Have you seen anything different that you've seen since Keon's been a part of this organization? Have you seen any uptick, any swing? I know he worked on his jump shot and shooting the three off the dribble. Have you seen anything, or has it just been kind of steady Eddie Keon?
Well, I think it has been that's one of his strengths, I mean, he generally just finds ways to help you. I think with probably with all the guards and a bit inconsistent minutes, I still think, he's one of those guys, and I understand the problems Coach Christie has. You can't play everybody. But he's one of those guys that the more he plays, I think the better he gets. I mean, he's going to spot shoot threes and make them, and he's going to defend, and he's a ball mover, not a stopper, and so I think there's a lot of positives with him, and it's just the real problem I can see is when you've got that many guards and older guards who really expect to play. As a coach, boy, you're really hamstrung.
Mm-hmm. Jerry Reynolds, I'm starting to think that the addition of Dennis Schroeder, and I know maybe it's not fair. He got hurt. He's been playing hurt. But I'm starting to think that maybe, it's not a disaster, but I think maybe it was a mistake that he and Westbrook are guys that would be great additions to a team that was already really close to competing. But on this team, they're just kind of not getting any traction. What do you think of that idea?
Well, they're both really good players.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things that Russell at this stage, and I mean, I'm a huge Russell Westbrook fan. I guess, and I think he's played well. Mm-hmm. I just kind of hate to see an all-time great kind of winding down like this. Mm-hmm. I guess if that's if that makes sense. And then with Schroeder, I mean, I've always thought, Schroeder's a good player. He's probably better as a backup on a good team. And so, it's kind of where Russ is now. He's a backup, and Schroeder's really a backup, and so you got backups.
Too many.
Yeah, too many backups.
Whew. Jerry, it's one of the conversations that, and I know you've heard this quite a bit being out in the city and having your ears to the streets here, and of course the kingdom, the fans, is how long is too long? How long is too long to let this team, kind of just spiral downhill or maybe play 500 ball or a little under or above it? How long is too long before you hit the trade or the go button or, the adjust the audible button here for the Kings?
That's a great question. I don't know that I have an answer. I mean, I think probably, at the 20, 25 game mark, you're going to have to really take a hard look at where you are, and then, basically as a team, front office and coaches, to try to say, hey, we need to do something different, or this isn't going to work, or it still could work, that sort of thing with a piece or two, but. There's not really a lot you can do now anyway, other than try to figure out how to play better and get some wins and that sort of thing. But probably as you get into the 20-25 game area, that's enough of information probably at that time that you'd have a better idea of where you are and what you really need to do, whether you can do anything or not. That's the tougher part. I know. Just listen to a lot of the different fans and different podcasts and things, and boy, there's a lot of great trades out there. You
ain't lying.
It's like, boy, just trade this guy, and we'll get that guy, and it's like, well, I imagine Scott Perry's thought of that and would be in favor of it, but so it's. And I think that's the problem they've got. They've got veteran guys that probably could help certain teams. But they may not be want them right now. There might be something later in the season for other teams that maybe need a specific kind of talent. So, I don't know. I wish I could be more encouraging about that, but I think it's going to be tough for them to transform the team particularly to either kind of get in the tanking mode, so to speak, or to become a really competitor in the West. Either way is going to be difficult.
So along those lines, Jerry, it seems to me that, as well as Malik is playing and he's shooting the three ball really well, and I've got so many guards, if he continues to play anything like this for the foreseeable and other teams are interested, I've got to see if I can get something of value for him. I like him, but he has value for me, and I don't know, if I'm going to be, if he's going to fit my timeline. Wouldn't a guy like Malik be somebody that if you're running the Kings, you have to at least see if you could get something of value for him if other teams are interested?
Well, I would think he, with his talent, and I would have to think he does have quite a bit of value, and his contract is not onerous, and so he might be, the best piece you could probably use in a trade, and of course he's a very good player. I mean, it's also true that you're probably not going to replace his talent with equal talent. You might get something younger player with size that maybe fits a better timeline, that sort of thing. And I think that's what you have to do, and you guys have pointed it out. But at some point you have to get younger. You just do. I mean, this team isn't going to compete with Oklahoma City and Denver for the Western Finals, I don't think. And I'd love to be wrong on that, by the way, but I don't see any. So, or some of the better teams. So they're in a tough situation where when you've got a team now all of a sudden that's among the older teams in the league, it has to be good, or you need to go a different direction.
Legend, I've asked you this in other instances, having tough conversations as a front office, as a coach, as assistant coach, when you have to have those tough conversations behind closed doors. And I ask you that in the form of, and I asked you prior about the timing of the situation, but having a tough conversation with someone like a DeMar DeRozan, who a lot of people have pointed the finger as he needs to come off the bench. How do you go about doing that? And I'm of the ilk he should not come off the bench, but how do you, as someone who's been in that position, have that conversation?
I do think that if you have to have that conversation, with a veteran that's been a really an outstanding player, whether it's a DeRozan or Westbrook or you go down to Bobby Jackson you can name a little bit older players that have to adjust. I think it needs to be a team strategy where the coach and maybe assistant coach and the GM all should be on the same page and try to have the discussion with the player and maybe even include the player's agent if you think it would help. But I think it needs to. But to your point, and you're exactly right. There has to be a strategy. It can't be just you walk in the locker room. Hey, I'm benching you.
Right.
That might work in high school, but I guarantee you, it's not going to work in the NBA.
Right.
Yeah. Would you say Domas is having some difficulty figuring out how he fits into this half-court attack?
Yes. He just doesn't look like himself at all. His last game was closer.
Yes.
To himself, but no, Domas. Really, his early now maybe the injury held him back a little, but they've got to figure out how to use him, and he's got to figure out a way. I think it's always struck me a little bit of how good he and Monk were in the high screen and rolls, and you almost don't see that.
Yeah,
it's like, well, can't we just keep doing that? That's good.
Yeah,
and I don't know that. With Schroeder should be good in that situation. We haven't seen much of it, and besides the fact that I still think you don't really have enough ball movement. So the more you hit him high and get cutters and things like that, the better off the offense would be.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of the guys they really do like to dribble. I don't know if you guys have noticed that.
Well, to that point, and pardon me, Jay, I know it's your turn.
Of course.
But, the Kings, they run 5-out stuff. They run DHO stuff. And we were in Stockton last year, Jay and I and Kyle, and we were watching the Stockton Kings, and they were running some similar things. But, Jerry, when they were running DHO stuff, they were running hard.
Yeah.
I mean, they were cutting off the ball hard, whether they got the ball or not. And I don't see this team doing that much. I saw it a little bit in the last game. So, I mean, there's something to be said, right, for when you're in the half court, whatever you're running, you have to actually run it. I know that sounds like Harry High School stuff, but you can go a long ways in the NBA by playing your half court offense and playing it hard. Am I right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, yeah, that's the idea of getting open on the cut is cut hard.
Yeah.
I mean, the old, if you're going to lollygag, don't be surprised if you're not open, I mean, that, I've noticed that too. And I think that's, again, is kind of one of the problems, and it's really tough for the coaching staff because you got guys that are so used to playing off their own dribble.
Yeah.
And it's like, not that they're not good at it, but it really, you've got to find a way to get five guys more involved, and you need cutters. I mean, if they're not going to get the ball, and I think that's always a key too.
Yes,
is get guys cutting hard even when they're not likely to get it, just to open up the floor and open up somebody else. It's like I was listening to a football player the other day that was talking about, as a wide receiver, he said, that on the plays, they would never, as a wide receiver, they would never be told if they were the first or fourth option.
Oh.
They said because if they told you that, if you're the fourth option, you'd probably lollygag a little bit. and so the idea was, no, this is a play you don't know if you're the first or fourth, so you're out there busting your hump, and which I mean makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely does. Joined by the legendary Jerry Reynolds. Jerry, I'll switch paths here a little bit because I got to get my question in.
That's right.
I was looking at a docu, and they were featuring Brandon Roy, who was a heck of a ball player before the knees.
Was.
Played 5 years for Portland, and I believe 1 year on the back end of Minnesota. He was on that roster. I think he averaged about 5 points. It got me to thinking, and, the Anthony Hardaways, there's so many Sam Bowies. There's a bunch of guys who could have been that guy prior to an injury. And some people even said, Larry Bird got the back end of his career kind of taken away from him due to the back. But it got me to thinking about somebody that I know you worked with who's no longer with us, the great Bill Walton. Bill Walton, from my time, was known as a character. Bill Walton was known as a lovable guy. Bill Walton was known as, a father of 2 NBA players. Bill Walton was known as someone that you could just, of course, part of the Grateful Dead fan base, but someone that you would always be able to conversate. But when you talk to people like yourself who have the opportunity to see Bill Walton, people they gush over the fact of who he was and what was taken away from him. Bill Walton, as a player to Jerry Reynolds, was who?
Well, when he was healthy, when at his best, he was as good as there ever was.
Wow.
Because of his passing ability. I mean, the year he led them to the championship, and the next year they were even better. And then he got hurt again. About 25 games in, 30 games in. I don't know what it was, but I always remember seeing him. And and he's one of those guys that really, truly, as a center, which Jokic is probably the modern day equivalent, and maybe a better version because of his shooting, but made everybody better. He really did make everybody on his team better than they were. They had some very average players on Portland that looked pretty good. Larry Steele and Thornzik, as much as
Bobby Gross, baby.
Bobby Gross. It's like, geez, and won championships, and it really flowed from him. And so, and delightful guy. You couldn't help but I was lucky enough to work with Bill on a few games, and being around him. Of course, a couple of games I always remember. Grant and I figured out if you ask Bill a question, you won't need to talk anymore the rest of the half. And so I got to tell you a story, a true story about Bill and Larry. In fact, they were very close. And I always remember Larry was just crushed when Bill got hurt the year after they won the championship in '86 because he thought they'd repeat, But Bill got hurt. But anyway, he was telling me his story about how Bill, he said he and his wife were going out of town and really need somebody to watch the boys, when they were young kids. And so Larry and his wife, watched them for the weekend. He said they were, Luke and Emma said they were both pains in the ass. But
Bruce would be the other one, right? The guy that ended up playing for the Cowboys, I think.
Yeah. So they were both just pains in the ass. He said it really liked them, but they, just wore he and his wife out. And then comes at the end of the weekend, they come pick them up, and he found out they actually didn't even leave. They just, and he said, I was about ready to choke Bill. He said, damn.
They stayed in town?
Yeah, stayed in town. Said we were just babysitting for him.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I think Bruce was actually Bill's brother. I apologize. But I wanted to ask you, Jerry, speaking of Bill Walton, I got in an argument with somebody on the radio about this once. I thought Bill Walton was the best outlet passer I ever saw. And someone said, no, Wes Unseld. And I know Wes Unseld had that baseball pass. But Bill Walton just box out, rebound, get it out, and get the break started. He was the best I ever saw. What do you think?
I would take Unseld, to be honest with you. Because he was so much stronger.
Yeah.
And I mean, he could, from right out of the basket, could just
that baseball pass
it right to the other basket.
Wow.
I mean, I'd say, even Kevin Love is close to Walton. I mean, I wouldn't argue that it'd be hard not to put him second.
Yeah.
But he was great, but he wasn't quite but Wes, I just thought, man, that guy
Fair enough.
was so strong. I mean, and Love was awfully good too. People kind of forget it now that he's, not the same Kevin Love, but man, that guy could outlet the ball.
Yeah.
And so, wouldn't
He was good though. He was good.
But I mean, Bill was, his level of success he had in college. I can't think of a guy that was better. Of course, I mean, Wes was awful. I remember Wes in college too. So I think it's to the right too.
Was Bill? What was Bill? I mean, everybody talks about him, of course, as the big fella, throw up the hooks and jump hooks and sky hooks and posting. What was his go-to? What beside his great passing ability?
Bank shot.
What was it? Was the bank shot?
Yeah, he had a terrific bank shot, and of course Wooden always really taught that.
Right.
The angle shot. I mean, Jamal Wilkes was great at that, but it's kind of a lost art. A lot of guys, in the 80s, 90s used that shot, and it's really Tim Duncan was maybe the last great player to use it consistently, I think.
Yeah, Jerry, speaking of the bank shot, and I told this story recently, and nobody cares, but you'll care. I went to a basketball camp once, and Larry Farmer and Pete Turgovich were there. And one of the things they taught us about the bank, and you probably already know this, Gary Cunningham also was there. They said when you shoot the bank shot, the key is you use the same arc off the backboard. You don't flatten it out or do anything different. Use the same arc that you would use if you're shooting it directly at the basket.
Wow.
Use that coming off of the glass. And I tried to it works, Jerry. They're right. That's the key.
No, exactly. I mean, and, it's kind of like the technique on the bounce pass. Always make it 2/3 of the way there.
Yeah.
With something on it, and then it'll be just right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You guys talked about Tim Duncan. Pippen was a guy who used the glass quite a bit.
Webb used to sometimes.
Webb, I was going to say Webb. Was one of the other ones, and I don't know why it sticks out in my mind, was Kendall Gill. Kendall Gill was a bank shot shooter quite a bit as well.
Yeah, I didn't. I remember Kendall's player. I can't recall that exactly. I always remember working out Kendall Gill in the draft the year. I think he went in front of us, but awfully good player, good guy too. By the way, had a nice career. One of those guys that you thought might could be a star, but just didn't quite get there.
Right, right.
Well, we've taken up enough of your time, Jared. We know you got to get ready to pass out candy to all the trick-or-treaters tonight,
what's in the bowl tonight, legend?
Yeah. Well, I won't be doing it.
That'd be Mrs. Reynolds.
You can rest assured I won't be in. I'll chase the little Willards away. But, Mrs. Reynolds, she's still she likes people.
That's nice. Well, thank you. Yeah, and go
well,
Chiefs.
Anyway, Jay, I just want to just apologize again for my King Shieldem, and hopefully you can find it in your heart to forgive me.
Absolutely, I'll forgive you. I'm going to hold it to Whitey though. I'm not going to forgive him.
Okay, yeah, just ship all of it to Whitey.
There you go.
Good luck this week against the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, we're going to need it. Bigger game for them because our boys, Andy and Patrick, we're worried about bigger things than just regular season games, guys. You know that.
That's true.
All right, Jerry. Thank you, sir.
All right. See you guys.
Take care. The one and only Jerry Reynolds will not be passing out candy tonight.
No, you won't see the legend. You'll see the legend's
I'm going to
wife.
chase away the little Willards? I've never heard that before.
That must be that Indiana slang.
That may be when we come back. Do the Spurs even need De'Aaron Fox next on Sactown Sports?
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
When I was a kid, I remember my dad, a lineman, leaving in the middle of the night. Families were depending on him to get their power back on to keep them safe and warm. Watching him taught me that this work isn't just about wires and circuits. It's about people and the trust they place in us when the lights go out. That's why I started Maverick Electric Heating and Air, to carry on that same promise of showing up, doing it right, and protecting families when they need us most. Visit callamaverick.com.
Toyota's legendary truck event is on, and the deals are legendary. Get low APR plus 500 bonus cash on 2025 Tacoma, or get a low-cost lease on Tacoma Double Cab, or get low APR or up to $3,000 cash back on 2025 Tundra. Get to your Toyota dealer now, because this truck event is gonna be Toyota. Let's go places. Offers available through TFS to buyers with premium rated credit. Cashback available through TMNA and cannot be combined with other offers. Ends 11/3/25.
Tempted to decorate for the holidays early? We like your style. Right now at Kohl's, save 20% on decor, hosting essentials, and more. Plus, get $10 off $50 spent. So go ahead, hang up that wreath, swap out those couch pillows for ones with snowflakes. And while others are panic shopping later, you'll already be cozied up feeling pretty great about these early Kohl's deals. Select styles. Offers end November 2nd. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohls.com for details.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So, I'm opening my own coffee shop.
I smell a caffeinated catastrophe.
And I needed menu boards and banners printed.
What you really needed was a reality check.
Staples really came through. They printed menus and signs, even flyers in time for my grand opening.
And that's when the other shoe dropped.
Not quite. I got $125 off my custom print order.
Cha-ching! For your business printing, Staples.
That was easy.
Now save up to $125 on custom print orders. Valid in-store and online. Ends 11/1. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Sacramento, the stages are heating up, and Sactown Sports has your tickets to the biggest live shows coming your way. Kick things off with hometown favorite Tyler Rich, bringing that California country sound to Ace of Spades on November 22nd. Then crank it up with Spike and the Gimme Gimmes, the punk rock supergroup that knows how to throw a party, November 29th, also at Ace of Spades. Need a laugh? Don't miss comedy legend Mike Epps, live December 5th at Hard Rock Live Sacramento. He's guaranteed to have you rolling. And keep the music going with rising country star Larry Fleet, December 6th at Ace of Spades. Smooth vocals, killer songs, and all the good vibes. Then mark your calendar for Brooks and Dunn, April 25th, 2026 at the Nugget Casino Resort in Reno. It's going to be neon lights, boots, and big hits. Catch all the action on the Sactown Sports live events calendar at sactownsports.com and keep your weekend's game time ready.
Catch all the action at Sky River Casino. Enjoy over 80 table games, more than 2,100 slot machines, and a thrilling high-limit room. Plus, with 18 elevated restaurants, bars, and lounge destinations, and Sky River rewards that add up and up. There's something for everyone. Just minutes from Sacramento, right off Highway 99 in Elk Grove. Join in the fun and experience new heights. Sky's the limit at Sky River Casino. Visit skyriver.com today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
They say we're young and we don't know. We won't find out till
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
That used to be a popular couples costume. I don't think it still is. Drive Guys here, Jay and Whitey. Jay, I don't know about you, but I have not heard how, speaking of couples costumes, how Chris Watkins' Halloween costume went at his Halloween party where he was going to be a pepper shaker and his girlfriend was going to be something entirely different. And he was making some commentary. And remember, we went over that. I got to find out how that went for Chris Watkins. It was a bold choice, to say the least. But I got to find out how that went for him. Maybe he's going to dress up as the pepper shaker again tonight. Have you heard anything how that went?
I haven't heard anything.
Yeah. Good luck, Chris.
I haven't heard anything.
Speaking of the Kings, as we just were with Jerry Reynolds, of course, I don't know if you follow Gary Gerald on X, but if you don't, you might want to. He always shares great entertaining and informative tidbits from his road trips. For example, 4 hours ago on X, Gary Gerald, the G-Man, one of the unique features of staying at the St. Kate in Milwaukee, a Crosley phonograph and a sample of vinyl. One of many nice touches at the Arts Hotel. He's got a picture of it there. Yeah, they got a little phonograph in the room, and then I think it's Chicago 16 is the album.
Wow.
That's a nice touch for a hotel.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I didn't see that today. I saw him post pizza yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was yesterday in Chicago. I hadn't seen that today.
Yeah, and then he also posted 8 hours ago, he thanked our buddy Mark Kreidler. Mark Kreidler, apparently, I haven't seen this yet, wrote a piece about the G-Man in Sactown Magazine.
I haven't seen the piece, but I did see him post that.
Yeah, so we'll see if Mark Kreidler can join us next week to talk about that. But whether he can or not, yeah, we got to check out that piece.
Ooh,
G-Man is there's no words. He's a treasure. He's a marvel, and all that plus.
Yeah,
he's incredible.
Absolutely. I mean, there. As you said, there isn't anything that you could probably say to describe how fabulous the G-Man is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and what he's meant to this community, this city, to the game, to the Sacramento Kings organization, and so on and so forth.
And he's really good, and that's a hard job that he does. And he's just, boom.
Yeah. What I love about it is he doesn't take anything for granted. You have conversations with the G-Man, and, he just eloquently tells you that every single day, every single game, every single season, I approach it as an honor to do what I do. And I think that's been part of his, and I don't want to speak for him, but it feels like that's been part of his success is that he approaches every single game the same way, albeit every single game and every single day is completely different. If you approach it with the work ethic and the love and the passion that you have like the G-Man, 41 years of success.
Absolutely.
For him.
Yeah. More than that, isn't it? Probably.
For the Kings.
Yeah,
but
he's done a ton of stuff.
Come on, man. G-Man's story is incredible.
The San Antonio Spurs story, it's not as incredible as the G-Man story, but it's interesting so far. Last night, the Spurs, they beat the Heat. And can you believe this? They beat the Heat 107-101. The San Antonio Spurs, for the first time in their history, are 5-0.
5-0.
First time ever. This is a team with, 5 championships? They'd never been 5-0. It's incredible.
Yeah, Hall of Famers scattered throughout the history.
Yes.
Some great ball players as well.
Manu Ginobili, the bat swatter.
Yeah, there you go, baby. Doesn't surprise me. But it does. I guess if we're talking analytics, it's 70-30.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't been world beaters in the form of, they're not beating OKC when it comes to their 5 games. They got the Heat, Raptors, Nets, Pelicans, and Mavericks to me, when you look at it, that's the bottom of the barrel of the NBA.
Sure.
Like, you're not really playing anybody, maybe beside the Heat,
To me, they're 5-0. That's not shocking, but that the Spurs have never been 5-0.
I think that's where, a little more, just because of the history of the last 25 years of the Spurs.
Mm-hmm. Do they even need De'Aaron Fox, Jay?
I've been one to say this, and I know some people is going to rub the De'Aaron Fox fans a lot, the wrong way a lot. I've consistently said once they got lucky, or however you want to explain the fact that they were able to get Dylan Harper, I consistently keep saying that Castle, to me, has an upside that they love, and the fact that he can play a little more 2 than 1 allows them to say Castle's going to be one of our guys.
Last night, Castle, 21 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists, and 4 steals.
He's a baller.
Yeah.
And if Dylan Harper is anything of what people believe he's going to be, which he's played decently so far, within the first 5 games. He's almost at 15 points, 5-5. And you're talking about 5 games into your rookie season. That's pretty damn good. If he is what everybody believes he's going to be, which is probably as good as De'Aaron, if not better by some accords believe he's going to be better. I've consistently said I could see De'Aaron on his way out of San Antonio. I know it's super, super early, and I know De'Aaron fans don't want to hear that. De'Aaron supporters don't want to hear that. But if you look at their timeline, Dylan Harper, Castle, they fit it better. De'Aaron Fox isn't old by any means. He's getting paid a whole hell of a lot more money than Dylan Harper, and we know how organizations move. If they think Dylan Harper can give you 20 points, which he's well on the way in 5 games into his rookie season, let's just push it up to 17, 18 and push up, those 5-5 to maybe 8-6. That's pretty much good.
Yeah. To me, the interesting thing about it is this. Do they need De'Aaron Fox?
Almost shooting 50% too.
Yeah. They certainly will benefit from having him back.
Of course.
They certainly will. But they won't need him to be anything close to what the Kings needed him to be.
No, because I've consistently said I think De'Aaron realized he's not a superstar.
You may be right. I know Alan Stiles had told me that once too, and I didn't buy it at the time, but yeah, it sure looks that way.
Like, I think sometimes you just got to be honest with yourself. And it's not so much because I'm a firm believer of this, Whitey, and you may disagree, and people who are listening disagree, and that's perfectly fine. I think the NBA is set up to be an offensive game. I've heard numerous players say this. Man, I can go for 50 anytime I damn want. Anytime I really want, I probably could go for 50. Now, that would be selfish of me. That's me getting numbers, and that's not in the grand scheme of things of what my team and within, what we're trying to do as a team. We're trying to win together and win championships. But if you really sit down and have conversations, which I've been blessed to talk to NBA players, and maybe you could say they out of their mind. But I've heard guys say, I can go for 30 every night. It's no big deal. I truly believe De'Aaron Fox is the type of person because he has a special power. He is super fast. He is gifted with the handle. He can finish at the rim. We've seen over the last couple of years, he's really added the touch, the Kyrie Irving to his game. At the rim, he's a cold boy, and he's got stop and start skills unlike a lot of people in the NBA. I know he can go for 30 for night because we almost seen it a couple of seasons ago. With that being said, I think De'Aaron has realized I can't do this all by myself. I need someone, and it's the same thing I say about Zach LaVine. I believe Zach LaVine has been for the most part, has always been the best player on his team. And if not, it's not he's 2 or 3, he's 1B. You need someone who's gonna be, hey Zach, you're B. You really are B. And to me, De'Aaron Fox realized that, and he looked over and said, well, if I have my druthers, I shoot down to Wemby. And as we talked about with the Dodgers, the pressure is relieved a little bit. Mm-hmm. Now, they got lucky with Castle, and I say lucky because they were in position to draft him, but they did draft him. And the same thing can happen with Dylan Harper. I think Dylan Harper's a 2010 and probably 6 type of guy in this league. If that's the case, De'Aaron don't even have to be 85% of what he was for the Kings. Right. It may be a great move for him.
He could average 18 a game, something like that, and help them a lot.
Definitely.
If he can make his jump shots. To your point about the record so far, Their first 4 games, the Spurs' first 4 games were against Dallas, New Orleans, Brooklyn, and Toronto. Combined record of 3-16. So, and then Miami with a winning record. That's the first time they've played a team with a winning record. So, yeah, the surprise isn't, wow, they're 5-0 this year, but the surprise is the Spurs have never been 5-0 before. And we have this from Devin Vassell. I think he's a really underrated player. He scored 17 points, 9 rebounds, a couple of big threes. He said, tired of losing. He said, I've been here for a long time. It's been a journey. I can say that. I've seen this happen many times. That team going on runs, and maybe coach puts it on film that I didn't dive on the floor. Maybe you don't go for that loose ball. You don't do the little stuff. Those little things help you win these games. That's what we need. The little details, the little minute things help us win games. That's what happened tonight. A lot of players say that, but Devin Vassell and the Spurs right now, so far anyway, they're actually living it.
Man, they're balling. They're doing their thing. Wemby's doing his thing. You talked about Castle doing his thing, Harper doing his thing, Keldon Johnson is balling. I mean, they De'Aaron ain't even stepped on the court yet.
Yeah, and then
that's
you
the
add
cold part.
The alien. Yeah, the alien. Who really took care of himself this offseason and came back maybe even on a different level from where he already was.
Right.
Scary.
Yeah. They have some young talent, and it is scary about how they can come together. But it's going to be interesting. This year, for sure, is a lock. But if Dylan Harper comes out and balls the way that it looks, boy, wouldn't it be – it would almost be anticlimactic in the form of De'Aaron picking San Antonio from all accounts and you sticking there for a year. And then all of a sudden, we know what happened here. You know, Kings consistently drafted point guards.
You trying to get him traded back to Sacramento?
No, not Sacramento, but wouldn't it be interesting if he was on the move just like that?
Mm-hmm.
Just like that. You wanted out. You got to the Spurs. They got a point guard, which you disliked. You hated the fact that the Kings did it to you 2, 3, 4 times. It fell to them. Harper's there. Seems like a young baller. And you could be on your way out again? Ooh, that'd be cold, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't bet on it.
I wouldn't either, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, I understand. Speaking of bets, will the NBA ban prop bets? That's next on Sactown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead.
Get your Kings fix all season long right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Carmichael Dave here for American Energy Heat and Air. Right now, breaking news, they're upgrading their offering to include plumbing, bringing that same expertise and experience to the plumbing space. They're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy Home Pros. You hear me talk about them as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get second opinions on any HVAC service or replacement, and now you can get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. They'll come out to your house for free, and they'll give you a second opinion and almost certainly save you money. Oh, but wait, there's more. With winter coming up, how about a free furnace special? With full system installation, you're getting a free furnace, not a discounted furnace, a free furnace, and up to $4,000 in rebates while that funding lasts. So get there right now, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
At Bank of America, we asked our people, how do you take ownership of your career?
I'm able to grow my way by putting the priorities that I have for my career first.
I thrive on being a leader who's behind the team, not in front of the team.
Every few years, I'm being re-energized because I get to do something different and learn something new.
See how our teammates are growing in their careers at bankofamerica.com/greatplacetowork. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
Hey, this is Greg Papa. Are you working through a major insurance claim? SunPoint Public Adjusters can help. SunPoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to, not what just some adjuster working for an insurance company thinks you should get. Call SunPoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. SunPoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884.
Guys, tired all the time, gaining weight, low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is making it easier to get answers with a comprehensive wellness panel. It's not just a lab test, it's where better performance begins. Our providers will check your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. A $400 value for just $99, or free if you start treatment. Over 120,000 men have trusted Revive to restore their energy, mood, and confidence. So if you're ready to feel better and live stronger, call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Offer ends November 30th. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
The deals are on now at the model year-end sales event at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? Save on year-end models and drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda. Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Though you may not drive a great big Cadillac.
Live and local, it's The Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Really appreciate your being with us, especially when you participate. Give us a call, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Just commenting in the YouTube chat, in the chat-o, or sending us a text. A couple texts here. Somebody wants to know about De'Aaron Fox, Jay, from the 209. Can he actually be traded with his new contract? Can't be that many teams that want his max deal.
Ooh. He's a ball player, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think he's considered a high-level ball player, top 30, so around there, give or take, depending on who you ask. I think that his contract is tradable in the form that if you're looking for someone to kind of be your B and a lot of times be your A certain nights, I think there's some teams out there that would definitely take the year.
I get the point, but I think it's important to clarify that what you were saying is not that the Spurs are going to go, this guy's no good, we got to get rid of him. It's just a matter of, we've got a lot of talent at that position.
Yeah.
And we got more value in younger players.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's about the fact that, hey, we lucked up. Mm-hmm. We got an opportunity. And, Dylan Harper's 19, 20, and De'Aaron's 27. And, I don't expect the San Antonio Spurs to win a championship this year. But let's just say they get to the second round of the playoffs. And they look around and, let's just say Dylan is right where he's at. He's at 15-5-5 for the most part. You look around and you say, well, we got control over this guy the next 3-4 years at a very minimal deal of $7, $6, $7, $8, $9 million. Well, we getting as that person from the 916, we're going to pay this man 50 plus.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a fair question, but I think he's going to play well for them. And he's already played well for them last year.
Yeah, for sure.
We also have from Justin. Should I even read this? Thank you, Justin, for listening. Can you expand on that EMF thing with the 49ers and injuries? Not really. There's a lot of pseudoscience, nothing that's been proven, that has been suggested that electromagnetic fields can lead to injuries and ill health in humans. And so he was the writer who wrote this on his 49er blog or on his podcast. He says he was just joking because apparently a 49er had suggested that as a joke, like maybe that's why we're hurt all the time. Ha 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 ha. Then he wrote about it, but it seemed like he was suggesting, hey, maybe this is silly, but hey, maybe. And he was just met with a lot of objection from San Francisco media because, again, it's just like it's nothing that's been proven. But that's what he was writing about.
Right.
Yeah. Apparently he also writes an Eagle blog or covers the Eagles.
Isn't he from?
I think he may be.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So that's what that is. You can track it down and find it if you want. But it's really
not hard to come by.
Yeah. I will say that no one has. I'm not saying that he's right or that there's any credence to what he's saying, but I mean, it's a fair point that no one knows what's going on. No one can explain it.
I think that's the point, and that's why, because we're all dumbfounded about the injury situation with the 49ers, I truly believe, certain people are just looking at anything to put even in the joking manner is what you're saying.
Yeah.
In the joking manner, just, hey, listen, it was because the freeways next to the stadium. Mm-hmm. It's because Great America shut down, and we need to keep it going, and whatever. I don't know.
I think Rob Statsgara pointed out that there are other stadiums that are near electric substations, and
people took the time. Rob Stats took the time to go look that up.
Well, I don't know if he knew it or if he looked it up, but he said those teams don't suffer more injuries than anybody else. So
right.
There's nothing to
currents, the electric currents.
Yeah.
209. Fox will be traded this next offseason and will get a good draft pick plus some for him. That might be a low dig at the Kings, huh?
Might be.
Dang.
You okay with what the Kings got back for De'Aaron Fox?
That's like talking about Spencer Hawes on this show. You better not do that. Don't do that, Mr.
You
Gleason.
kind of brought it up. You opened that door, and I just walked through it.
And
all I did was walk through. Hey, what's up, Jay?
I'm going to let you come in, but I'm going to tell you immediately, sit down.
The whole mistake, if there was a mistake there, and it looks like there was, the whole mistake is that somebody thought, ooh, if we can get Zach LaVine as part of that, yes.
Yeah.
We're making out like bandits here.
I think that's part of it. The other part, too, though, and maybe for me, and I'm not speaking for myself because a lot of people said this, you just had to press the buttons in the form of, you got to give me something, meaning player-wise. Keldon Johnson, Sohan, Julian, you got to give me something.
But the problem was, if you're the Spurs, and you say that, Jay,
the
Spurs say, no, we don't. I mean, if you don't trade them to us, we're going to get them eventually anyway.
Yeah.
So
you just get your poker face on and you figure it out.
You can keep them for now and have that hanging over your head, or you can trade them now for what we're offering. It's up to you. But if you don't give them to us now, he wants to come here and he's going to be a free agent and we're going to get him eventually. So what do you want to do? So I don't think the Kings had that much leverage. I'm assuming there weren't a lot of other teams that wanted him.
Yeah, well,
which it's an assumption, but it sure looks that way.
True. Whitey, I said I'm not going to talk about it, and you already done suckered me into having a conversation.
You suckered me into suckering you into
it. I hear you. Getting back to the original point, it's interesting in this point. De'Aaron, the two or three things that you sit down and you look at from afar, and I'm not saying the Spurs did it on purpose. They had De'Aaron before they had the draft pick. They got the draft pick, and you had to take Dylan Harper, according to most people. Dylan Harper is a hooper. 5 games in, 15-5-5. I'm rounding up a little bit. 5 games in. That's showing you he's a hooper. 2 things De'Aaron talked about that we know for sure is consistently drafting a point guard behind me here in Sacramento. Spurs just did it. Second part of it is you chose to go to the Spurs. They got lucky with a couple of picks. And now that you look at their timeline, everybody, for the most part, and I need to look at Keldon Johnson's age. I don't know Keldon Johnson's age. He's 26, so he's an OG. But for the most part, everybody else on that team is 25 and under, meaning Vassell's 25 and under. Castle, Harper, Wemby, they barely could tip some alcohol. So I'm just saying you're already kind of on the outside looking in when you age.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
no conspircy theory or nothing.
There's no rush to do that, but
No,
you're right.
absolutely
You can see
not.
it. You can see it setting up that way, as I'm sure they do.
Right.
Here, the Spurs like, we may have some interesting choices to make here.
Very much so.
What do you make of this? According to ESPN, in the wake of the betting scandal, of course, the NBA and sportsbooks are continuing to review what types of bets are most vulnerable to manipulation and how much bettors should be allowed to wager on such bets. Do they need to get rid of? Does the NBA need to say, look, we got to get rid of the prop bets? Before the season, the NBA identified, this is before all this came out, the NBA identified missed free throws, fouls, and turnovers as types of wagers susceptible to manipulation. And the NBA asked its partner sportsbooks not to offer those bets. FanDuel and DraftKings told ESPN they had agreed to the NBA's request. FanDuel did not offer such wagers in past seasons. DraftKings had offered in-game betting on players making or missing free throws. Those offerings were not available before a game. Is this a step in the right direction, or does it even really matter? When you're looking at the
grand scheme of things
of this scandal, and we don't even know how far-reaching it is.
I'd say it doesn't even matter.
I tend to agree with you. I think a lot of this is for, appearances.
Yes.
Look what we're doing.
Yeah.
And the commissioner, whenever he talks about this, we are identifying with our partners the bets that are most vulnerable to this type of wrongdoing.
And we've had some private investigators do a very deep dive in research and report back to us that these are the things that are really being affected. A high percentage of these things right here, these aspects are being affected. When it's really all said and done, man, they have a problem. They truly do, meaning they, the NBA, and probably all leagues. They have a huge problem when it comes to the gambling. They, as you talked about me opening the door to the conversation, the door has been opened. It has been kicked in. And matter of fact, you probably need to pick it up off the floor and put it back up on the hinges. They have a true problem, as we've seen over the last month, 2 months, 3 months, Jonte Porter going all the way back to that, and even prior to that. This thing there's a litany of issues when it comes to gambling in the NBA. The door is open.
Player prop bets increasingly popular, particularly in the NBA. According to this piece, they represent a growing percentage of the amount wagered on basketball. Partner sportsbooks might acquiesce and agree to what the NBA wants on certain bets, but the NBA does not have as much influence over what daily fantasy operators, prediction markets, and offshore sportsbook operators offer. So maybe not a step in the right direction. It's like looking in the right direction, but ultimately I think this is all about appearances, and I don't think it's going to have anything more than a cosmetic impact on the actual problem.
Tap dancing.
Yeah.
NBA is tap dancing. Where's Gregory Hines when you need him? Rest in peace.
And you put those headsets on the officials, it's not going to help. Restore faith in what you're doing.
What do you mean? I just got off the phone with Microsoft. They're willing to be a paid partner.
Are already on social media and on the text line. They're already making jokes about that, and it hasn't even started yet with the officials starting tomorrow wearing headsets, having headsets with them at all times. In January, wearing headsets during play while the games are going on. Good luck, NBA. Good for you when we come back. The reckoning is near for the Kings. I'm here for it. Next on Sactown Sports.
The San Francisco 49ers play on Sactown Sports 1140.
Touchdown 49ers! Every game on your #1 sports station. Don't miss the action on your local sports leader. Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
As the temperatures drop, keep your home cozy and your family safe with Maverick Electric Heating and Air, your local family-owned team you can trust. They care about the families they serve because they're part of this community too. This fall, schedule your seasonal tune-up to make sure your system is ready before the cold sets in. Visit MaverickElectricalServices.com or call Maverick Electric and let their family take care of yours this season.
Toyota's legendary truck event is on, and the deals are legendary. Get low APR plus 500 bonus cash on 2025 Tacoma, or get a low-cost lease on Tacoma Double Cab, or get low APR or up to $3,000 cash back on 2025 Tundra. Get to your Toyota dealer now, because this truck event is gonna be Toyota. Let's go places. Offers available through TFS to buyers with premium-rated credit. Cashback available through TMNA and cannot be combined with other offers. Ends 11/3/25.
When you bundle renters and auto with Progressive, you can save while protecting your most valuable possessions, like your priceless vinyl collection. Sure, you sleep on a futon because the money most people would have spent on a bed you spent on more records. But forget the fact that you can stream just about any song ever created for a few dollars a month. No, you need to listen to music in the most difficult way possible. So go ahead and get Progressive so you can save while protecting the things that matter to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
No, it's not too soon to start holiday shopping. Ulta Beauty's early Black Friday event is happening now through November 22nd. Shop $10 beauty minis from brands like MAC and Too Faced. Take 30% off Lancome and Touchland fragrances and body mists. With new offers dropping every week, our associates can help you find the perfect gifts. Head into Ulta Beauty today to shop our early Black Friday event. Ulta Beauty. Gifting happens here.
KHD HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140.
That's great. I just love talking to Jerry. Really love it. And he introduced me to a new term today. Talked about trick-or-treaters. I'd chase away the little Willards.
The Willards.
Somebody in the chat said he's talking about that movie Willard, calling them little rats. You ever remember that movie? There was Ben.
I do remember Willard.
And I think the sequel was, no, I have it the other way around. Willard was the first one, and then there was a sequel, Ben, which is the one that Michael Jackson sang about. Ben, the two of us need look no more. But Willard was the,
Showcase the tones there, brother.
Yeah, right. So, hope you have some fun Halloween plans. One of my daughters is coming over with her dog because her dog doesn't do well with trick-or-treaters. They have trick-or-treaters at their house.
Okay.
So Lonnie and Darren bring Enzo over, and at our house, we don't get a lot of trick-or-treaters.
Grandparents watching the pup.
They're coming over too.
The grandpup.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So they're using that as an excuse to come over to the parents' house.
Yes, they come over. We have some dinner, watch some baseball. Ooh-wee. And it's a Halloween tradition when they come over that we watch something Jurassic Park related. We haven't seen the newer one yet.
The last one.
So that one just started streaming yesterday, so might be watching that today.
It's okay. I actually had the opportunity. I'm going to brag a little bit here. Shouts out to my guy, Ryan Coda, who, if you might have heard his name mentioned here on the station, he does some work up there at the arena for us under the umbrella of RJ, who was our engineer for Kings games.
Sure.
Ryan's also,
the guy,
he works. He's done some work over, and I won't say the company, but I'll just say this: one of the bigger companies. He worked on the latest Jurassic Park movie. Yeah. So when you watch the movie, watch the credits, and under he's a sound editor. Ryan's up there.
Okay.
Right? So we had, when the before the movie came out, Ryan invited me to go see a premiere. Well, let me just ask you, who's the creator of Jurassic Park?
Michael Crichton?
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Who's Michael Crichton work under?
Well, he's dead, so I don't know.
Yeah, but who did he?
Nothing against Michael Crichton.
Who did they start under? What was the company that first had Jurassic Park?
Oh, the movie was, I think, Universal Spielberg.
Yeah, come on, baby, we getting there now. Come on now. So let's just say, there's a spot out in the Bay Area that won George Lucas, Spielberg,
Skywalker Ranch.
Come on now, baby,
Yeah.
you see where I'm going?
Uh-huh.
I was blessed to hit Skywalker Ranch.
Oh, wow.
And watch the new Jurassic Park.
Really?
With my boy Ryan Coda.
That's amazing.
Dude,
so you didn't
it
go
was-
like to the Cinedome or
Nah.
something?
I ain't go over to Greenback. Nah, I ain't hit Greenback,
I
baby.
don't even think they have a Cinedome anymore, but yeah.
But I know where you were going. Come on now. This
Yeah.
city of trees, baby. I'm south to the north to the east to the west. So I was blessed, man. I go over to Skywalker Ranch with my boy Ryan and get to take in the new Jurassic Park, which he worked on.
I'm a little disappointed you didn't share that earlier. That's amazing.
Well, you know, some things you got to keep under wraps.
Okay.
Yeah. But it was a blessing, man, and got invited to go a second time. And
But wait, you said it's okay?
What do you mean?
The movie, you said it's okay. I
Well,
mentioned it.
because I'm telling you why I went into why it was okay. Because the whole adventure was bigger than the movie.
Oh, all right.
You get what I'm saying?
I guess so.
Well, the Jurassic Park was like the third thing in line.
There's no way the movie could live up to everything else.
Come on, you following me,
Yeah,
brother? We
okay.
had a nice little dinner. Then we go to Skywalker Ranch. I get to check out the deets. I see the baseball field and so on and so forth. I don't even know if I'm
Was that
supposed to
Marin
say-
County?
I can't say all of that.
Well, no, I think everyone knows
I
where
can't
that's
say
public,
all of that.
But it's
Yes,
in Marin
it is.
County,
Yes,
right?
yes,
Yeah.
But man,
So you were
it was
hanging out with George Lucas and Steven Spielberg?
Dude, it was a beautiful thing. It was a beautiful thing, man. I can't tell you. I've been blessed to have some great experiences. That was one of them.
I would just imagine that the visuals and the sound at Skywalker Ranch would be just top drawer.
Oh yeah, it's
the highest quality audio and visual you could ever see, I would guess.
Oh yeah, man. It is one of the, like, and Ryan was telling me this before our drive there. He's like, yo, when you get into the theater,
he doesn't talk like that.
Well, yeah, you know Ryan
He
doesn't
said
speak
yo?
like that. Well, Ryan didn't say yo, but he says, he's like, Jay, when you get into the theater, my guy, he didn't say that either. And he's like, this theater is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It has all type of acoustics that are built for movies. And Jason, you're wrong. I see you on there.
Mm-hmm.
The movie was cool. I'm telling you, the experience blew the movie out of the water.
I could understand that.
Yeah, so I wasn't
Just like Scarlett Johansson blew that plesiosaur or whatever out of the water, right?
right. And I won't tell the movie because a lot of it is based on water. How about that? I'll give you that. Like a good portion of the movie is based on water. So we go and he's like, the acoustics and the sound, they were built for this. It's top-notch theater. And you're going to love it. And I'm like, okay, and I'm sitting there and you know me, I'm not the biggest movie person. I'm not the biggest television person, but I'm like, this is an experience once in a lifetime.
Yeah.
And this is something that we had talked about a few times because he's mentioned to me, Star Wars. He's worked on Star Wars. He worked on the newest Twister, which is funny because I did tell him, I was like, I ain't really the biggest fan of the new Twister.
That's the funniest thing because I worked on Star Wars. You're probably like, okay.
Right. But you have to, when it's kind of one of those things where, and I'll peel back the curtain real fast, I asked for a request from you. You're like, yeah, the Eagles. And I'm like, okay. Did you like the Eagles? He's like, they're cool. Yeah, they're cool.
Uh-huh.
But as I sit back and think about it, man, they had a lot of hits. They did great things. And so that's what I'm thinking. Star Wars, I'm born May the 4th, so it doesn't, no big deal.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. But when I talk to Ryan, I find that there's a lot more interesting things that I didn't know because I'm getting the behind the scenes thing.
Wow.
Like I'm not a Star Wars person at all.
Friend to have.
Yeah, it's like being a friend of you. What do you mean?
I don't.
Friday Night Theater, baby.
I can't get you into Skywalker Ranch.
You probably could if you picked up the phone. But I will say this. When it's all said and done, yeah, I'm not a Star Wars guy. As I told him, and he knows as I'm not saying anything I didn't. I was like, yeah, Ryan, all due respect, shouts out to you. I'm glad you got a good check. I'm glad you're up under Disney and George Lucas and everybody else. But I didn't like Twister. Wasn't for me. You know, it's cool. I like the old bad acting Twister, right?
Yeah.
But the new one's like, it was whatever. And he's like, yeah, but it was hard because you had the sound and, because he's a sound guy. Effects guy. So I'm like, okay.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so then we're talking about
he was like he wanted to be a hockey announcer or something. Maybe I'm
Ryan?
thinking, yeah.
No.
Maybe I'm thinking of a different guy. Okay.
Nah, come on, man. Nah. So he's like, but Jurassic Park is coming out. He's like, guess what? Your boy was on that. I said, what? It's like, yeah, I'm a fan of Jurassic Park.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I like Jurassic Park. My first one going back to her, Shooter. That was one of my favorite. I love Jurassic Park. So he's like, your boy's I'm on the credits. I'm big time. It's like, would you like to accompany to one of the premieres? That's awesome. And him and his wife, I believe, had went to the first one. So they redid it. They show it all month or whatever before they drop it. I'm like, you absolutely bet your tail I want to go to that thing. Man. Just spectacular, man. And I didn't get to see everything, of course, at the ranch. But when you drive up and you look around and it's secluded and, you got a security and you got to have your name.
Is it hard to get in?
Yeah, it is. It truly is.
And who's this guy,
right.
Ryan?
Because you have to send your name prior.
Are you the guy that doesn't like Twister?
Yo, is this the dude who don't like George Lucas films, right? I'm like, right? So I'm like, yeah, we get in. I'm looking around, Whitey, and I'm trying to be very vague because I don't want to,
Yeah, I understand.
But there is a baseball field on Skywalker Ranch.
Really?
Yeah, it's like a softball field. Dude, I'm like, I need to swing a bat on that field.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah. And coldest part was maybe like a month or so before they had the company picnic.
Wow.
So you slide by that area and you just see bales of hay and things like that. And he's like, dude, you should have came to the picnic. Like, what do you mean? I should have came. You didn't tell me. I would have loved to come.
Yeah.
I'd have took off. I'd have told Draper and Whitey, forget y'all. I would have came. But, man, he's got a lake, and this thing stretches for beyond, miles. It is tremendous.
Acres and acres and acres.
Yeah, it is tremendous, man. And you get to the theater building, and you look down, and you're like, ooh, what's down there?
Yeah.
And he tells me, I'm like, man, I got to get over there. Somebody needs to invite me for a grand tour on this place.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, anytime you want to come, just let me know. We'll put the call in to the powers
Are you allowed
that
to
be.
bring anybody?
Yeah, of course.
I'm just kidding.
Of course. What you mean? Absolutely.
That's incredible.
I'll put the call in for you, baby.
Yeah.
You want to go?
No, I'm kidding. I wouldn't do that. Yes, of course.
I was like, what? Okay.
Yeah.
Of course, man. If Ryan listens to the show.
All right.
So if he's listening, which he probably has got a son, they might be out moving and grooving tonight, but he does listen to the show. And if I'm pretty sure if he goes back or whatever, he'll hit me with a text, but I'm going to reach out.
Okay.
See if we can make something happen.
Awesome.
We got to see what his next movie's working on.
So you're probably not watching any, horror films or anything for Halloween.
Nah, that's not my style.
Yeah.
That's not my style.
How about you said Sinners was, if anybody's going to watch that for Halloween, your wife liked it a lot though, right?
No.
She
She was with me. She was like,
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But a lot of people do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I know Chris Verla loved it.
Is anything scarier right now than the Sacramento Kings? Pretty scary, right?
Dang, the way you said it, man, you sold it. I was like, what? Then I was like, ooh, he sold that.
1-4, they visit Milwaukee tomorrow night. So the Kings are 1-4. They visit Milwaukee and then Denver. Then they come home to Golden State, Oklahoma City, Minnesota, and Denver. So that is a very demanding stretch. So you're 1-4. You might not win any of these games, and they might. It could happen, but they're certainly not going to be favored in any of these games, barring the unforeseen. So a really poor start is definitely on the radar. Like if you lost all these games, you'd be 1-4, 1-5, 1-6, 1-7, 1-8, 1-9. You'd be 1-10. And if that happens, and it may not, okay? But if it happens, then, Jay, that's when the reckoning is here. And there will be no pretending that, well, we can climb out of this and we can compete for the, play-in or anything like that. And I would hope that happens sooner rather than later, that we get to a point, not because I want the Kings to lose and I want them to suffer and fans to suffer. I just want to get to a point where we have an idea. What are we doing? What's going on? If we get to that point where, all right, this did not work the way we hoped it would work. Now what are we going to try? Maybe we try moving some of the contracts. Maybe we try to get younger because, as Jerry Reynolds said, they have to get younger. So if that reckoning comes sooner rather than later, even though it would take, piling up of losses to get there, I'm for it. I wouldn't mind getting to that point.
Right. Yeah. I think we're getting there rather sooner than later.
Yeah,
for sure.
And I don't think it's going to be a bad thing, even though, we live it all week and we understand it, Jay, and it's what we're here for.
Yes,
but,
sir.
They lose and then, people, why didn't they do this? Why didn't they do that? And why didn't they put this guy in? And how come this guy's not playing more? And I'm not sure that's really what it's about right now.
I would like to know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure we know. I don't think we have that answer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of one of them things where it's like, somebody step up and tell me, but that would be a bad job by them in the front office. So I'm not exactly sure.
Don't you think it was like we've been saying? It's like this. You come down here, and at some point you get to that fork in the road, and you're trying to be competitive. And then if you get to a point where clearly this hasn't worked, then it's when, all right, do we continue to try to be competitive and compete for a play-in spot or maybe better, or do we start seeing if we can move pieces and start focusing on our future? That's what it's about. And it makes sense. I mean, it was logical to say, all right, we're going to try to see how good we can be. But and the injury, of course, to Keegan didn't help. The injury to Nate Clifford, although he's upgraded to questionable, didn't help. But maybe it just got you to that inevitable point sooner than you would have gotten there. I don't think if they get there, I don't think it's a bad thing. Now, if they win all these games, obviously, people are going to be coming after me. And if Kings fans are going to be doing somersaults, it's just not likely. It's possible, but it's not likely. And just big picture, I think they're better off getting to the point where they go, all right, we got to get younger and start gearing up for, might be this year and next year before we're where we want to get to. But at some point, you got to pay for the success that you've had. Every NBA team does that. You didn't think for the Kings you'd have to pay this much this soon, given how little success you had, relatively speaking.
Right.
But the bill is coming due.
Yeah, it is. You're going to have to pay the toll sooner or later.
Every team does at some point.
Yeah, they got to pay the piper and make a decision, too.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's part of it, making a decision and standing on it. It's coming. It's going to come to, and you talk about the fork in the road. It's going to definitely come to the bend, the fork in the road, and the Kings will make a decision. I'm super interested to see how quickly that fork in the road comes. Ask Jerry Reynolds about that, but that's his opinion, and he's like, hey, normally 20 to 25 games kind of feels like about the time.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's kind of what we look for as fans, and onlookers. 20, 25 games into a season, you kind of know what your team is and how you want to make some adjustments. We'll see if the Kings stick to that timeline, expand it, cut it shorter. I'm not exactly sure, but it's going to be an interesting ride. If nothing else, it's an interesting ride. And if this, as you started with this stretch, plays a part in that where some losses start to pile up, maybe it'll come sooner than later.
Yeah. By the way, Banta the Young has me pegged. After the show, I think Whitey's going to spike his hair and throw on his Detlef Schrempf costume. How did you know that? Is it that obvious? Remember when Detlef Schrempf was on Parks and Rec? Does anyone remember that?
Nah, I never saw it.
That was very strange.
Never saw it.
That was strange. Jason Siebenthal, CJ meeting up directors and get one of those movies. Maybe you'll get in one of those movies, Jay.
Maybe. There were some people there, man. Big wigs, big boys. I did mention, I said, gotta have me back. How can I be a part of this team without being a part of this team? And one of the guys laughed. He was like, yeah, and I was like, no, I'm serious. Like, how can I get entrance and access to the spot without having to come here and, edit and do things like that?
You'd be good at that. You'd be good at
It's
doing
tedious,
that.
man. It's tedious. Editing is tedious.
Jess says, I think we've beaten the Bucks or Nuggets, and then we pick up a couple of wins at home.
Okay.
Hashtag why not?
I'm with it.
That would certainly change the picture.
Yeah.
It would change the outlook.
If we come in on Monday and they get the W against the Bucks, does the sun pop out a little bit, or are we still in the okay, they beat the Bucks? And if it's without Wemby, it's like, it's without Wemby too. Like, how do you think we react on Monday?
I don't think it would change how I'm looking at things, but, one win, but they could use it. I mean, Coach Christie could use it. The players could use it. And if it's a competitive game again, if you're a fan, it's one thing to think, well, they're better off doing this, as I've been saying. But when you're watching it and you're feeling it rather than thinking about it, and your team wins, you get that jolt, and then you want more of that, That's why we're fans. You watch a team, they win, and you get the endorphins. It's like, yes, I want more of that. So that's what happens if they were to beat the Bucks. And then it's like, yeah. Maybe they're better off doing this or that, but hey, let's beat Denver too. My fear is that's just, eventually it's inevitable, and you're just pushing it, kicking that can down the road. But I get it. If they start winning games.
But can you argue with though? You can't argue with wins, no matter how you get them, though, right?
Right.
All right.
But is this team really going to compete for even a play-in spot? I don't mean that to be a leading question. Is this team going to compete for a play-in spot? We did the exercise yesterday. You picked up, I think we have to cross the Spurs off that list completely. You had them kind of like
in the middle. They got to see where
you
they're
had
at.
3 or 4 teams that you thought the Kings can still catch those
Sure.
teams. If they could do that, they would be competing for a play-in spot. So based on what we did yesterday, yes, they can compete for a play-in spot. To me, not unless they do something to address the just almost total lack of front court wings. They just don't have any.
No.
And the ones they have, they don't want to play. And you can't win when you don't play any wings, up front court wings, right? How you can't win that way when you're getting 31 rebounds.
Yeah.
No matter what Coach Christie says, or no matter how they buy in, that's too much of a handicap in the NBA.
Yeah, when you got guys like 7'3", grabbing something off the glass.
And you're going 6'5", 6'6", 6'4", 6'3", and what's Doma, 6'10", really?
Yeah, 6'10". I think he's listed at 6'11". Yeah. Whitey, there was a lot to unpack right there. I get it though. I think in the big grand scheme of things, it's the conversation that has consistently happened here over the offseason, which is mask probably a very average team at best, a team that's going to fight for the play-in spot, not playoff spot. And how long are you willing to sit pat and watch this team do just that, which is compete for an average season?
And Jerry said, what, 20, 25 games?
He said 20, 25
exactly
before you bust a move.
And there's a tough schedule in that.
Well, let's count it out, Whitey. I mean, if you really look at it, let's see here.
First,
real
I got to
fast.
ask you this. Peg Junk, pardon me asking, isn't there a golf course out there?
Ooh.
Skywalker Ranch.
You know what? I didn't see one. But understanding what I'm saying is I didn't see the entire grounds.
Okay.
Because by the time we got there, it's like, okay, let's shoot into the building,
and
get right
half
for the movie.
of it, they put a blindfold on you as they drive you through because they don't want you seeing it?
Nah, not when you with the guy.
Oh, okay.
Not when you with,
Sorry, Jay, you
family.
can't see any of this. Oh.
No. I mean, literally. And if you've been on these roads, you've passed it 100 times and didn't know it.
Right.
Because
I've seen the signs.
Yeah, for sure. You blow right by it. You're like, oh, okay, didn't even know. But I did not see one, Peg Junk. And you could be 1,000% right. I just didn't have the opportunity to see it. On the road that I got to see, golf course was not one of the things. And I don't remember anybody telling me there was one on.
According to the internet, no, there is no golf course at Skywalker Ranch. Skywalker Ranch is primarily a movie production facility, not open to the public for golfing or other recreational activities.
Doesn't mean it's not. It might have been lying, pump faking. Peg Junk, hold out hope, brother.
Invisible golf course.
Look, I'm willing to say there is a softball, baseball field at Sky Ranch. And you better believe when I drove by it, the very first thing is, how do I play catch? How do I swing a bat? How can we be a part of something? I know there's a celebrity. I know there's a company softball team or something that I can be a part of. And it was like, say the word, let's get it done.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bunch of other things on the ranch that blew my mind, though.
Rumor has it there's an actual life-size X-Wing fighter parked in the middle of a field at Skywalker Ranch.
I won't verify or deny it. Because I don't mean to be mysterious. I probably need to ask Ryan, like, can I say that? Can I say something's here or something's not? Can I say, like, I don't know.
The best, according to this, the best theater in the world. You may have been to the best theater in the world.
Wow. Man, they bragged about it, and it was super nice. You know what it was,
the most advanced sound system in the world.
I was told that.
Mm-hmm.
I was told the speakers there are phenomenal. And they were, no doubt about it. I'm not sure if there were anything different because I'm not in that lane, but it was spectacular. I mean, watching Jurassic Park, and I'm trying not to give the movie away because I know you might go home and watch it, but you could definitely hear the trickles.
Mm-hmm.
You could definitely hear water being a part of the movie. No doubt about it, man.
Mm-hmm.
It was spectacular. It was an opportunity to see something that I probably would have never thought that I was like, oh, okay. Never thought I would probably have the opportunity to do so.
That's great. Good for you. Thank you for sharing that. Peg Junk says, I got Jedi mind tricked. He was thinking of the Presidio.
Okay.
And Drapes was playing golf there.
Yeah, he was. Presidio. He was balling there.
Linda Harold wants to know, is Drapes announcing the game tomorrow?
He is.
His announcing got us the only win so far.
Yeah, he is. He is tomorrow. I spoke with him yesterday. He was took a flight today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he's doing the next 2 games, I believe. Milwaukee and Denver.
There's 2 wins right there.
Yeah.
There you
Add
go.
them up, baby. Mm-hmm. Put them in the win column.
When we come back, if you're running the 49ers, how all in are you this year? More on the Kings as well when we come back on this Halloween. Ooh, Sactown Sports.
Visit SactownSports.com and join the Sactown Sports 1140 newsletter.
The deals are on now at the model year-end sales event at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? Save on year-end models and drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
When the chill in the air sends shivers down your spine, don't let your home turn into a haunted house. Keep things cozy and safe with Maverick Electric, your local family-owned team you can trust. Maverick Electric cares about the families they serve because they're part of this community too. So before the real chill sets in, schedule your seasonal tune-up. Visit MaverickElectricalServices.com and let their family keep yours warm and beautiful this Halloween season.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money because you're in charge. And right now, you're going to pay for groceries. But you decide what groceries. Just keep in mind you're running out of dishwashing soap. But you decide if you're going to buy that soap. Just those dishes won't clean themselves, will they? Remember, with Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Throughout history, people have relied on trusted partners to answer the call, sometimes at work, other times when relaxing. And today, it's no different. Only now, a new kind of beast answers back. Meet the Toyota Tacoma, boldly designed, loaded with technology, and built with the power and reliability you'd expect from a Toyota truck. When the call comes, Tacoma is ready to answer. Toyota, let's go places. Visit Toyota.com for details.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Yeah, I asked Jay to play A Witchy Woman by the Eagles. Thank you, Jay.
Of course.
Timothy B. Schmidt, the bass player for the Eagles, he was born in Oakland, but he was raised in Sacramento, and he's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I wonder if he's the only. Yeah, I wonder if he's the only person. Well, he wasn't born here, but he grew up in Sacramento who's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Oh, that's a good question, sir.
78 years old. Timothy B. Schmidt. Thank you, Jay, for playing some Eagles.
Of course.
Witchy Woman on this Halloween. Ooh.
Man, could you imagine being in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
I guess. It's such a weird.
You ain't not feeling that?
It doesn't have, to me, I don't think would have the same, meaning as being in a Sports Hall of Fame, or there's a California Hall of Fame, and there's some big wigs, some real heavy hitters in it. But is it like Jerry West is in the California Hall of Fame? Does that mean anything compared to being in the Basketball Hall of Fame? Some of the Hall of Fames are they're just excuses to have museums to try to get people to pay money to come to them.
Really? That's what you believe?
Some of them are, I think. Yeah,
money
not
grab.
like the Vallejo Sports Hall of Fame.
No, that's not no money grab, baby.
Yeah.
Come on, baby. That's
good luck getting in there.
To the highest, to the highest of the highest, right? To the utmost.
I would go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I've never even been to Cleveland.
Yeah.
Have you ever been there?
I've never been to Cleveland.
Yeah. Would you go there?
Of course. Why not? Just to
Indians game. Excuse me. Sorry, they're not the Indians anymore.
Yeah,
Guardians game. Would that be higher on the list? And then Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and then Browns game. I don't know.
Rank them. Guardians, Browns, Cavs, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Okay, I'm with you.
All right, I'll go. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Really?
Number 1. I'll go Browns 2. Guardians 3, Cavs 4.
Yeah, I might have. Yeah, I might have the Cavs higher, but I'm pretty much right there. I might flip-flop the Cavs and the Browns, but I'm with you.
So Rock and Roll's number 1?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Yeah. The problem with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, of course, is there's so many different music genres, and they're just like, rock and roll.
Yeah, put them all together.
Yeah. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. How about Brandon here on Sactown Sports? What's up, Brandon? How are you?
Doing great. Wearing my Halloween costume. I get to wear it one day a year. I don't have to wear my uniform to work. I get to dress up. So I am Doug Christie. Been rocking this Christie jersey since he was a player.
Nice.
And yeah, my favorite player of all time. And I was so happy to hear him on 1140 when he got there, and then happy to have him as an assistant coach when he got there, and then now he's the head coach, and I'm just like loving it. I got his purple jersey, I got his white jersey. I'm all purpled out going to work and just happy to be Doug Christie.
Don't be surprised if you hear him on 1140 again.
Wink, wink.
I won't be. Yeah. All
right.
Interviews and everything. Yeah,
But you didn't hear it from me.
Right on. So if anybody makes it out to Natomas Domino's Pizza today, they're going to see a Doug Christie knockoff.
That one on Gateway?
Yep, on Gateway.
Come on, baby.
I'm one of the managers there, so yeah.
What's your name, Brandon?
Yeah.
Brandon, yep.
All right, man. I might keep that in the Rolodex there.
All
B.
right, nice.
My boy, that's my guy.
Yeah.
B.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks y'all for taking my call, and you guys make it a great day.
Well, thank you, Brandon. Appreciate that. Here's my Halloween question for you. I know I said we'd talk about the 49ers. We can probably get to them in just a little bit here.
Sure.
Which of these is scarier in your opinion, Jay? This would be something you do in sports. Some of this, you've probably come close to doing it. But of these three things, and maybe there's other things that I missed that we can add on to the list. 1, facing a hard thrower. You're a batter. You're facing a pitcher who throws really hard, who has no control. There's in baseball history, there have been guys like that. I know there was a pitcher named Ryan Duran that threw really hard, had no control, and he had really thick glasses, so it's like he couldn't even see. So that would be frightening, right, potentially. So facing a hard thrower, really hard thrower who had no control, going over the middle as a receiver in the 70s in the NFL.
Oh, man.
Where,
70s?
Yeah. Or
Tatum
even the
sitting
80s.
out there? Woo.
Yeah, where, you were kind of taking your life into your own hands.
Yes.
Or taking a charge from the likes of LeBron, where he's coming and you got to stand and you got to plant and then you got to stay there and just wait. And which of those three, to you personally, is more fearful?
Come across the gut. Coming across the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in the 70s,
Mm-hmm.
dudes were taking cats' scalp off.
Yeah. They'd shoot you.
Yeah.
It was legal. Anything below the waist was legal, depending on the caliber of the firearm. It was a different era.
It was. It was the truth, man. It was seriously the truth. Yeah. Yeah, I'd probably say coming across the middle, Whitey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Taking a couple buckshots.
Yeah. That's why those guys a lot of times had those alligator arms.
Yes,
you can
sir.
understand it.
The Freddie Mitchells?
Yeah. Well, whoever. But even in, the 80s, Ronnie Lott or somebody. That was their job.
Oh, yeah.
To
Come
hurt
on.
you.
Atwater.
They were paid to hurt you.
Yeah.
So that the next time you were less likely to make the play.
Without doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, when you talk to some of those guys from the 70s and they talk about, and I even think we asked Stevie this not too long ago, maybe a couple weeks ago, but you talk about having to know you're getting hit at some point going across the middle and then now revert back to the 70s where it's, like you said, they could shoot you. Mm-hmm. They could literally do almost anything to you coming across the middle.
Forearm to the back of your head, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, that's scary.
Mm-hmm.
That is because you have to go get the ball. You need to go catch that rock, right? And so, that's 100% different.
Yeah. Are the other ones even fearful for you? The other two?
No.
I'm sure you faced some hard throwers that didn't have the pristine control.
Oh,
in
yeah.
your day.
Yeah, for sure. The higher you get, the more velocity, right? But in high school, when you come across guys who are throwing 90, more times than not, they haven't grasped the situation of who they're going to be down the road.
Yeah.
They're just throwing hard.
Yeah.
They're still being taught.
I faced a guy once named John Bonet who had been drafted by Cleveland, and he hadn't reported yet he'd been drafted, and the first pitch he threw, one of the coaches said, "You have to swing before the ball gets to the catcher."
Thanks, Coach.
I drew a walk-off.
That boy, cat-like vision.
But man, he threw hard.
Yeah. I think you've asked me this. The person that I think has thrown the hardest that I've taken an AB off was Joel Zumaya.
Yeah.
Who used to pitch for the Tigers, used to hit 100 when 100 wasn't normal.
Gee, I know I ask you these baseball stories all the time, but I'm just fascinated. I could hear your baseball stories all the time.
And then I think I've told you this before. Yeah, I know I've told you this. The fastest I feel like I've ever taken was DeJuan Brazelton, which was drafted by the Tampa. And I got hit, and I turned back and looked at one of our pitchers, those weird guys.
Yeah.
I was like, how fast? And he held up an 8, and I said, 98.
Yeah. Both those guys pitched in the majors for some time. They had success at the major league level.
Definitely. But to feel 98 to the back, it's like, man, that hurt. That really, really hurt. It stung, to say the least. And I had threads, on the back for a few days, no doubt. It hurt.
You could argue that taking the charge would be the most fearful in this sense. If I'm going over the middle, I know I could get clocked, but I'm focusing, I got to catch the ball.
Yes.
If I'm up to bat against whomever,
right?
Yeah, if I think about it, they might hit me, but I got to focus on where the ball is. I can't think about that. But when you're standing there waiting for LeBron, what else are you going to think about? Other than, all right, here we go. 3, 2.
You would hope that LeBron, if we're just saying, okay, this is a contest, go out and do one of the 3, you would hope LeBron just dunk on you or go around you, so you're hoping that he doesn't just run straight into you.
Yeah.
Somebody from the 916, I'd stand in there for LeBron over all those options. I did used to say would you take one round with Mike Tyson for $1 million?
Nope.
Yeah, that's probably the number one.
I don't want to be eating meals out of a straw for the rest of my life.
Yeah, boy.
That's a good one.
Prime Tyson?
Uh-huh.
Ooh, or fresh out of penitentiary Tyson, McNeely, Danny Williams, that Tyson?
Right.
Before, Holyfield got a hold of him? Yeah, nah, man. That's, he was relentless. He didn't care.
Right.
If you hit him, he would take those to get to you. Yeah, I can only imagine the brutality you would have to go through to fight Tyson. Yeah, I'm cool on that.
Yeah, but I love your answer. Yeah. Anybody who remembers what it used to be like in football, and you can see why they have changed the rules. I know a lot of us complain. I complain. Oh, it was better in the old days, but man, it was flat out brutal and dangerous.
What you said.
Yeah.
You said they shoot you.
Below the waist.
Double barrel, baby.
Yeah. All right. We'll come back, talk about the 49ers. Should they be all in? Can they be all in? Can they save the season? 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. You want to chime in on the scariest thing in sports to do. Next on Sactown Sports.
Download the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento sports in your pocket. This is Sactown Sports 1140.
When I was in Iraq, our convoy was hit. It was bad. After I came home, I could still hear booms and see tracer fire. Makes it hard to be a good mom.
As America's veterans face challenges, DAV is there.
I'm Naomi Mathis, Air Force veteran.
With the right support, more veterans can reach victories, great and small.
With help from DAV, I was able to begin to heal.
DAV provides a lifetime of support to veterans of every generation, helping more than 1 million veterans each year.
Today, I'm part of DAV. We're veterans helping veterans to get the benefits they've earned. And I give my veterans my all.
But there's more to be done and more victories to be won.
My victory is being able to be here for my children.
Naomi Mathis, thank you for your service. May your victories inspire many more. Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Hey everyone, it's Kyle Draper here. If you're in the market for a new car, let me tell you about my experience with Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. From the moment I walked into their state-of-the-art showroom, I knew I was making the right choice. There was no pressure from the sales staff, and if I'm being honest, I felt like a kid in a candy store. I settled on the all-electric EQS SUV, and let me tell you why. First of all, the comfort. After a long day at work, I actually look forward to being in my car. It has several different massage settings, including my favorite, hot relaxing back. Plus, the seat heating and cooling features are perfect for the hot summer or those chilly mornings. Mercedes-Benz has the reputation of making the finest cars in the world. Now it's your turn to experience what I already know. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is the best car buying experience you'll ever have. They're just a short drive down I-5, or you can shop online anytime at mbofstockton.com. That's mbofstockton.com, and tell them Drape sent you.
The holidays can be a time of increased stress for those struggling with opioid or stimulant addiction. They can also be a time for pause, reflection, opportunity, and new beginnings. This holiday season, choose treatment and recovery. Embrace the company of family and friends and create special moments. Find a proven opioid or stimulant addiction treatment provider near you at choosechangeca.org.
Unlivable, but there's nothing going on, just force, animals.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Michael joins us here on Sactown Sports. Is this Michael Myers?
Happy Friday, guys.
Thank you. What's up?
Yeah, it sucks that the Kings are 1-4, but I'm a big draft guy, so I know it's a little ahead of time, but I just wanted to get your guys' ideas on. I think the positive is we're in a good position. I think AJ Ibonsa got some T-Mac comparison, 6'8", 6'9", Cam Williams from Kentucky. I just wanted to see what you guys think. Some players that you have in mind are looking forward to, because it's not looking too good. Our backcourt's way too heavy, and our offense doesn't look so hot. So just wanted to get your thoughts, guys. Thanks.
All right, thank you, Michael. I will just tell you this. Looking at the players that right now figured to go in the lottery, I just love that there's so much size available. And, yeah, you'd love, if the Kings end up there in the lottery, you'd love to be up top where you might get Darren Peterson from Kansas. He's only 6'6", but, he's, by some accounts now, he'd be number one. Then Boozer, DeBance, as you mentioned, 6'9". Cam Boozer, 6'9". Chris Senick Jr. from Houston, 6'11". Nate Ament from Tennessee, 6'10". Guy from New Zealand, Kareem Lopez, 6'8". So Caleb Wilson, 6'10". So I'm not to the point yet where I have a guy, but I love, as we look at this and look at the possibility of the Kings being in the lottery, I just love the fact, Jay, that there's a lot of size available.
Yeah, you spoke to that this week, and we're 5 games in.
Yeah.
I haven't put the hourglass yet. I haven't put the telescope on the draft just yet. So I'm trying to figure out. I understand where Michael is coming from, but
it's a fair question.
I need to figure out at what point in time do I adjust my telescope and start to look at the draft compared to looking at the season a little bit more. So
I'll give you since he asked for name, I'll give you one. Yaxel Lendeborg from Michigan.
Michigan.
6'9", 6'9 3/4". I've never seen a guy listed at 6'9 3/4 before.
Is that with shoes or without shoes?
That's a good question. Yeah. He is a senior, so he's a little older than some of the other guys, but we'll be keeping an eye on that. That's one of the things that perhaps makes this season even more interesting.
Yeah.
Long ways to go, as you said,
we
Jay.
do. We do. And it's a shame that already, poor Mike, man, feel for you, brother, that, your mind is already eyeballing the draft. But he did say, hey, look, I'm a draft guy.
Yeah.
He's on this draft movement, too.
Mm-hmm. I think a lot of Kings fans might be watching a little more college basketball this year than they've watched in recent years. Some Kings fans are huge college fans, and they watch everything anyway.
Sure.
But there's going to be probably more interest. Again, seeing depending on how they do here over the next 7 to 10 games. Could be tough. Could be rough sledding.
Could not be too, though.
Sure.
Okay. You got to have the glass
it's
half
certainly
full.
Possible.
We
Yeah,
can't
but this
just
is-
all
this-
be negative here. And I'm not saying we're not or you are, but I'm saying
I understand
there's
that.
enough negativity in the air, baby. It's Friday. We're living.
You're right.
Enjoy the weekend, Sack.
But it's not all bad. Even if they don't win a lot of these games, it's not bad.
Could turn out not to be. You're
Yeah,
right.
that's
You're right.
all I'm saying. And this is a challenging
Blessing in
stretch.
disguise.
It's not like this is the worst ever. It's like, all right, if that's the way it is, then we'll deal with that, and we'll head in another direction. We have this from Bleacher Report today. I know he said we'd talk about the 49ers, so let me ask you about that real quick, Jay. With the trade deadline coming, if you're the Niners, are you all in on this year? Are you mostly in? Are you 3/4 in?
I'm not 3/4. Like, who was that? That was 9.
Axel Lindeborg.
6, 9 and 3/4.
69.75. Never seen that before.
I think where I'm at right now is I'm halfway in. I'm double dutching.
So you're at the deadline. You're probably going to add something, but as Rod Brooks said, nothing splashy.
No. Yeah, I'm right there.
Is that going to be enough this year?
Probably not, but I'm not exactly sure that you were coming in thinking that either.
Are you
Meaning the
possibly changing your view depending on what happens this week? If you don't get to Jackson Dart at all, are you then more desperate or perhaps less desperate?
No, I think what changes my perception is I go to Brock Purdy. I need to have a good conversation with the likes of Ben Barch. I need to have conversations to make sure D. Winters, Yetur Gross-Matos, guys like that, Jordan Elliott. I need to have those conversations and say, hey, fellas, 2-3 weeks, what we looking at? Ayuk, Tricky Ricky P. You got to have those conversations. Communication is key. And once you kind of figure out, and you pull out your handy dandy calendar and you look at the next few weeks because you don't have a bye till week 14, so you're pretty much locked in for the next 6 weeks or whatever. And you go down the calendar and you say, okay, I get Barch back next week, probably Purdy right there. I probably could pencil in, all right, Tricky Ricky P in 2 weeks, Ayuk maybe in 3. And I think you go down that route and you look at it and say, in reality, if Ayuk is the last one to come back, Trent Taylor, Tomlinson, so many people who haven't came back yet. If Ayuk is the last major piece to come back, and let's just call it 3 weeks from now,
Then I'm ready to go on that side of the ball. And I need to get to the quarterback.
all right. So are you looking at it in the form of if Ayuk is back in 3 weeks,
Tricky Ricky P's back sooner than
in
that.
2 or 3 weeks, let's just say 3 weeks
Yeah.
max. Now we're looking at, week 10? 11, right? You got to buy week 14. If Ayuk does 2 or 3 good weeks, will he be ready to go in the playoffs and make a push?
This could all be coming together
You
right
got to
when I
ask
need it
yourself
to.
those questions.
I'm
like you-
0.75.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm trending towards more than that. And also, there's this. Miami fired their GM. They didn't
Yes,
fire
sir.
their coach.
Greer.
Chris Greer is
Yep.
out. So now, some of the players that maybe he didn't want to move. Now you got to go
Jade
back
Phillips.
and go, all right, so, who's available
Who
now?
you got your eye on?
Yeah, well, Judon, although he hasn't really, he doesn't have any sacks yet, but he'd be an upgrade and he may not cost me much.
So do you go to the young fella, Phillips?
Yes. Do you know what his contract is? How long I have
I think
him?
he's still on a rookie deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's going to be other teams that are going to be looking too.
No doubt.
Arden Key might help me, but I'm really looking at that because I got a chance, despite everything here, of going on a little run here. And this year is so wide open. Who knows, Jay? Who knows? I might be able to make a deep run. And isn't that what it's all about, is winning a Super Bowl?
I'm trying to look to see what Jalen Phillips would. He might be on a secondary deal at this point. He probably is because he was drafted, 21?
Before we go for this Halloween, I just want to take a look at this. Haven't seen it yet. Bleacher Report posted today for Halloween each NBA team's number one villain. And I haven't gotten to the Kings yet. Who do you think it would be? Number one villain of this century.
The century?
Yeah.
For the Kings, DeMarcus.
Okay. Oklahoma City, Stephen Clay. Orlando Magic.
Oh,
Doc.
meaning who is the villain to us?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
This century.
Yes.
Draymond.
Philadelphia, Ben Simmons. Robert Ory for the Suns. I know we just have a few seconds here, so let me speed up and get it. Oh, my goodness. I did not know it said this. Sacramento Kings, they have listed the owner of the franchise.
Oh, come on.
I honestly had not looked at that ahead of time.
Who wrote that? The Ringer?
This
Bleacher
is in
Report?
Bleacher Report.
Bleacher Report.
Yeah.
Wow.
On that note, hey, happy. Maybe I should have looked at that ahead of time. Happy Halloween. Hope you have a wonderful holiday and a great weekend. Emmer and I are going to be back here tomorrow, Jay.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, True Sports Card Show.
Giving out any cards, let alone candy?
That's up to the boss man.
Okay, no doubt, no doubt.
And we've got Golf to Go coming up,
Golf to
right?
Go coming out.
Special. It's not Halloween without Golf to Go, and that's coming up next.
Dodgers up 2-0. 3-0 look like 2-2-2, 3-0, 2 outs,
horrifying.
top third.
Yeah. Golf to Go next on Sactown Sports. See you next week.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop